that begins with an
There
L
we
is
go,
Lee.
Steve. You got it.
Nice.
Yep.
Hey, everybody, Slightly Slanted. Bear with me. Talk to these guys for a minute. I'm going to switch something out here. All right.
Hello,
guys.
everyone.
Hey, y'all.
Turn this down.
Eric?
What was
Say
that?
hi to everybody, Eric.
Hello,
Hey,
Eric.
hi,
I seen Miles had a comment about the power button symbol. I think you can see the pole standing up.
Right.
My screen goes small. There it is.
Huh.
West Side, everybody.
West Side.
It was our Nuggets,
Our Nuggets.
our copyrights.
Our copyrights. Yeah. Our game, our way. Our rules. Our way or the highway.
It is.
All right. I'm not going to be able to do chat, so one of you guys are going to have to do that. So.
Oh no.
Eric, that's you, because I'm looking at chat clear across the room on my big screen TV, but I can barely see it from here. I'd have to get up to see it.
Well, you either need a bigger screen, a smaller resolution, or glasses, or any combination of the.
I'm in the closet.
3. It's number 3, but I hate wearing glasses on my nose.
Yeah. I'm in the closet, so I can't see chat.
It's a nice closet. There's a big fucking closet.
No, I'm in the office trying to clean up. Put the carpet down today.
Nice.
Need to shampoo it.
Yo was really quick to notice where Steve was at.
What?
Oh no, Yo in the chat channel said, Steve, that's a horrible thing to do in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course, my husband saw that, and he had to tell me about it, yes. And he had his own comments that I told him, don't you dare type that in. So, yeah, you can put 2 and 2 together, I'm sure.
So, does everybody want to see what I'm doing? No, I don't want to share it.
Well, then why'd you say it?
I put it up there for a quick second.
Okay. Oh, you're playing a video game?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was waiting.
Wow.
Wow, that is cool looking. But it looks like the kind of game that's too technical for me.
Oh, Steve's back.
Yay! The main man.
The host.
The host with the most.
He's the G host.
Oh, he didn't make me co-host at all, I guess.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I didn't make you co-host?
Nah, but it's all good.
Well, no, I got to make somebody co-host.
Yeah, it has to be the IT guy, so.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That works.
All right. So now if anybody else joins, I can get them over.
Yeah.
Mac's supposed to be here.
Yes, Max.
There's a couple people that I invited, so I think Rodney and Chris.
Where's Max?
I'm going out to the card and see if this reaches out there. But I kind of want to, in our talk, I want to incorporate the chat. So somebody, if you can, Eric, maybe put the chat up on thing.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are my keys and stuff in here? Pop them keys, please.
Well, somebody invite. Oh, here we go.
Thank you. Hey, you guys there?
Oh, not this one. Yep.
Okay. Somebody's here.
I got it.
No man. Hey, what's up, buddy?
You there?
Yep.
Rodney.
Made him a panelist. Zoom link is in the chat if anybody else wants to join. Deborah, Sky, 5D, Yoa, Purple Turtle.
Purple Turtle. P Turtle.
P Turtle.
Where's Max at? Max got the invite too, right?
I don't know. I'm trying to send it to him, but it's being a pain in the rear.
Yeah, it's purple turtle from now on.
Okay.
There we go. Go.
Rodney's here, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is not invalid.
Yeah, real dark. Oh man, I still gotta do.
You guys hear me?
I hear you.
Uh-huh.
Great.
Okay, I cannot invite Max, guys. I don't know what's going on. It won't let me do it by email or Hangouts.
How about now?
Can you hear me, Steve?
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm gonna.
Can you guys hear me?
I'm going to send Max the number.
Yeah, we got it. Everybody's
Yeah,
good.
I can hear you.
Cool helicopter flight.
It's gonna work.
This time I didn't get a chance to do it this time.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Did you guys? Did I get that? Did that other video get posted?
Yeah, the one with the jellyfish.
Sun gazing and with the jellyfish.
Yes, sir.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I did.
Can you guys hear me?
Beautiful.
I hear
it
you.
was.
Yeah, can
This
you
is
hear
a
us?
fucking joke, man.
I guess
I always thought Myrtle Beach would have hills and stuff, but maybe it was just where you were.
No,
No,
that's
Myrtle
pretty
Beach
flat
is
up there.
it's pretty flat.
Yeah.
It's right above
the coast.
Florida. And Florida's flat as fuck.
Southern Pines.
Other side of the building, see if I can can you guys hear me better?
You
Yeah.
sound like a robot.
Hello?
Yeah, you're
Sound
cutting in and out. Your signal's getting kind of weak.
Oh, fucking joke.
Sit by the
Right.
usually the
Right.
pool area has a good access when nobody's in it.
Or our video.
Yeah,
Just
if
put
you're
up
on
our
if you're on your phone, Steve, yeah, that'd be cool if you could go down to like the pool if it's not loud right now. Then your family wouldn't have to worry about being quiet or anything. That'd be awesome.
Hmm.
Well, I sent Max the number, so but he
He
has
said
not.
in Hangouts he was coming.
You guys
Yeah,
can hear each other, right?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's just not all that swell.
Yeah, your bar when it shows up is in pure red.
What does that mean?
I guess it's your connection bars here.
Yeah. Yeah, but you guys can make it work though.
Yeah. All right. So what's a topic you want to start the night
I don't
off?
know. I was thinking about talking about the what's going on in the world and what everybody's seeing in the sky, the chemtrails, and what everybody thinks the chemtrails are about.
Nibiru.
Well, I don't want to get stupid with it, but yeah, if people want to, if you want to talk about it like that, yeah. I mean, you know what I mean. Eric. I'm not calling people stupid that think Nibiru is here either. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to just.
What
You know
about
what I
this asteroid that's supposed to pass between us and the moon this on the 22nd or 23rd or something like that? That's pretty
Really, I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, and this is pretty much what's the whole story of what's supposed to happen with that. Asteroids come, not like the planet's going to hit us, but like it's going to send asteroids at us and it's going to screw up our day pretty much.
Right. I think that all the extra asteroids and everything is due to the fact that you think of yourself like a balloon on a carpet. You start going through a denser area of space, and it starts causing you to build up a static electric charge and a magnetic pole for anything that's around you that'll attach to you.
Well, they say we're going through a thicker area of space, more cosmic debris or whatever, but I really don't know because they also say that, Pluto's not a planet and the sun is 90 million miles away. But so who knows what the truth is, but they say that we're supposed to be going through that, and what we see here is our electric magnetic force field basically is weakening. So,
well, I
Yeah,
know
I think the
everything.
reason why the weakening factor though is because the heliosphere of the sun is weaker because the sun is in a a weaker state, and that's why there's more stuff coming to Earth, right? That's the reason why they're chemtrailing.
What
Yeah.
about the predictive programming in the Super Bowl with the asteroids, meteors? Did you see that?
no, I didn't watch that.
Don't watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
No.
I don't either, but I caught that on a YouTube video. Pretty interesting.
Hmm.
I'll see if I can
All I
find it.
know is every time I touch something, it shocks the shit out of me lately. I am highly charged.
Hello.
called the photon belt.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about the photon belt and all that stuff. But who's all here with us?
Photon belt. Photon be like a particle of light. So I mean, what's a particle of light belt?
Yeah, I think photons are a bunch of nonsense when it comes to light. I think photons are more of a electric phenomenon, right?
You know, I was actually watching somebody that explained that the sun that we see is actually think of like one of those plasma ball things, you know, in the glass. When you get enough mass, all the plasma will go in one stream to that area on the thing, right? But supposedly the guy was his idea of the sun is that it's a plasma ball beyond the dome, and then it's being focused by the dome, creating what looks like our sun.
That's interesting.
It's interesting considering that, you know, all the stuff about plasma coming up out there. And
I wish they hadn't canceled the TV show Under the Dome because it had a lot to do with an egg, and it really ticked me off when they shut it down.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that show.
Yeah, but so I think that the sun is a cold plasma type entity. I think it's essentially a inverted black hole, if you will. You know, the energy that hits us from 93 million miles away is that's kind of hard to fathom. That's where I get stuck.
that's what I said to me. How is the sun that hot, but yet space is that cold? It seems to me that the only time the sun gets hot, and if that's the case, then why is it not hot up in the upper atmosphere? You know, you go up in a plane 30,000 feet, and it's cold as shit up there.
The wings of a plane start to freeze.
Yeah, I mean, it gets even colder out there. So to me, it's obvious that the sun coming through our atmosphere is what creates the heat.
Yeah.
Well, the atmosphere it intensifies it. But I mean, if you're not in the atmosphere of the Earth and you're out in space, the reason why they have to develop astronauts' equipment the way they do is due to the radiation. You know, the radiation, and that's what the Van Allen belt is. That's what everything is. The heat from the sun is actually radiation. You know, and they have to develop their suits for 400 degrees above, you know, whatever it is, I don't know, and then 400 degrees below.
Now, see here, I thought their suits were made just so they keep the water out from the pool out of them.
So they don't drown.
That's a good one, man. I like that.
They just don't use the diving suits. They just use the other ones. Right. You're adorable, Eric. I love you.
Very good.
Nugget.
That was a good one.
One of them nuggets.
Tasty little nugget.
That was very good. I don't know how to.
My Sky 5D wants to lift this one up a notch.
What is he talking about?
Don't know. He says, all right, come on, let's push the lid off this petri dish. What you got in mind, Sky?
Yeah, what you got? Hey, Rodney. Is Rodney here? He uses his phone. How do I get? I can't figure out how to.
Yeah.
How do I navigate my phone on this program, and how do I share and stuff?
Is it a Samsung?
Yeah, there we go. I figured it out now.
I was going to say, with the Samsung, you're screwed.
I've been seeing that too. Steve, have you been looking at the clouds anymore still and seeing the images that are kind of like appearing in the clouds at all? Or have you kind of stopped doing that?
No, I still do. I just do it on a personal level. I don't.
Have you noticed the amount of dragons in this?
Yes, I have, actually. Yes, I have. And I've noticed that the chemtrail. Did you see that sun gazing video I had today?
Yeah, I was gonna comment that you're supposed to meditate to sun gaze and close your eyes and not walk around, but
well, no, I was staring into the sun the whole time.
Yeah, you don't close your eyes to sun gaze.
No, you stare into it.
Yeah.
I thought you were supposed to close your eyes and meditate or something.
No, stare into it until it blinds you, until you can't hold your eyes open anymore to it.
If you're looking at the sun and it's like high noon or anything shortly before or after, then yes, please close your eyes. It's important.
Right. But no, at the horizons, you can look at it until it's above your eye level.
Sunrise and sunset when it's copper, then you can look right at it.
That's the reason why I believe they are chemtrailing for that reason alone, is for the information, because light is information, in my opinion.
Yep, you are correct.
Yeah, but
that's why they tell you to bow your head and close your eyes.
Right.
Okay, you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Do you guys see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Let's see if I can play a video. Well, it won't let me play while I'm okay, so I can go to images though, right? Yeah, whenever the sun's right here, like this color.
Yeah.
Then you can stare at it. And when you're looking at it, you'll see rings around it. Oh, look at that. You can annotate and everything. You'll see rings around it.
Like a rainbow.
Like that.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I seen this morning. And they kind of vibrate. They go back and forth. You know, they're like magnetic.
Right. Well, of course.
And then the longer you stare at it, the more intense it gets, and it starts turning purple on like the third layer.
Wow.
That's that Green Grass and High Tide song. You know, a rainbow grew around the sun.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty slick. Now I figured out how to do that. Whoa. Okay, so I can share everything. Wow.
Yay.
You shouldn't be able to start it live on YouTube from the phone, I believe.
What did you say about purple?
Purple? What do you mean? Purpley?
You saw something kind of purple?
Well, yeah, the sun. You see the sun. The sun is orange or whatever. Mm-hmm. Hey, Max Vision's here.
Yay, Max!
Was the purple in a?
Oh, he dropped out already.
Oh, he'll be back.
Or was it kind of like a banana?
Oh, there he is. What's up, Max? Yeah, but I mean, the longer you stare at it, the more. Okay, here, I'll go back to that picture. I gotta go to my pictures here. Photo, gallery, camera. Okay, you see what color it is here? Now you can kind of see it. You can see it a little bit in the camera, but you see where the heliosphere, the sun stops.
Yeah, I can see it.
There, you'll see like these layers of it, like different images of the sun, and then about right out here, it starts turning purple. You know, like right outside the heliosphere.
Have you put any filters on it to filter out the red or any of the colors just to see what else you get?
That'd be a good idea.
No, I'm talking just by your eye, not with the camera. With your camera, you can't really see anything. You know what I mean?
Right. But I was wondering, have you manipulated this image at all to see if you can pull anything out of it?
Right.
No, I haven't actually.
That would be amazing if you did, and then make a video and show everybody the awesomeness.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer if it doesn't catch it when you're, filming it, then, manipulating it is it's not really.
Well, it's not really manipulating it. It's just different filters because, eyes can't pick it up.
Right. I've tried all that before. I wonder if I can share. I've done all of that. Yeah. I wonder if I could.
Is a lot more copper looking, than like an orange. I mean, like a real copper look.
A lot of that filter stuff isn't just as simple as like putting a new filter on and all of a sudden stuff pops up. You got to play with the settings and stuff like that. And,
Mm-hmm.
Well, they made some improvements to this program too now. Can you guys see this?
Yep. I see white.
What the hell is that?
The sun after 10 a.m.
What the heck is that? Did you take my screen away?
No.
No.
What the hell is that? That was weird.
That was something. No, I did that.
No.
I was just showing you the difference.
You got to tell me when you're doing that.
He went into panic mode, and guys, he don't need that this evening.
I'm like, what the heck is that?
Nobody makes Lately panic.
That looked like the sun simulator color.
No, what were you showing there, Rodney?
That was just an image of the sun here yesterday.
Well, it's amazing. You can watch the sun literally here. It starts off orange in the morning, and then by like 9-10 o'clock, it starts
9:30. I timed it today. Yep.
Yeah, and then
Pure white almost.
yeah, it goes pure white until it's about sundown. Then it goes back to yellowish, and then you'll see another one off on the other side of the.
Oh, we're in conjunction with Mercury right now, huh?
Yes.
Anybody have any ideas as to why?
Communication issues.
Is that what it means?
Yes.
Messengers.
Messenger. Yep.
And we're kind of entering into a golden age because aren't we going under Saturn's rule?
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It's a very good thing. Yay.
Hey, Max, how you doing, bud?
Awesome. Thanks. How you doing, Steve?
Don't spill the beans, Max. Me and you will do that video later.
Spill the beans.
No, later.
What are you talking about?
We got a video planned. It's a surprise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't want to take nothing away from you guys. Whatever. It's all good. Hey, Max, what do you think of this? What do you think of this alignment here?
I don't know enough about it, really.
I'm newly enlightened. I would have to think about that.
And Mercury look to be at a 90-degree angle, do they not?
Let me see.
Well,
okay, there's Earth.
Earth, Sun, Mercury, Sirius. Oh, and there goes.
Oh, Venus and Mars. Looks like we're going to be battled over.
We're going to what, Max?
Yeah,
what?
Looks like we're going to be battled over because you got the sun in the middle, Mars and Venus on either side of us.
Yeah.
Stuck in the middle.
Monkey in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
War of love and hate.
That's right. It's time to.
Yeah, but what do you think about the cross part of it all?
I see the cross too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, crossing would be an event, right?
Yep.
Of any sort.
Yep.
Crossing, breaching.
Yep.
But they don't show you the planet of the crossing on that one.
No.
It's on
Right.
the other side. You just draw it in yourself. Yeah.
It says you're not in the golden age, you are the gold.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people here, I would say, that are not gold at all. I mean, not here in this chat or whatnot. But
No, in this world.
Yeah.
That's silver line.
Nah.
I'm not sure on my screen still, right?
No sharing screen. In fact, I just see your name and a swirly do, and then it changes from that to your
Okay, cool.
profile pic.
What else is all?
So Put up the who's all in chat? Who's all on YouTube?
Let me check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, read their
Oh, we got
comments.
Michelle Canham Free on now. Sky Free Press.
Cool.
Sunshine.
Free love.
Sophia.
Sophia's here.
Paradigm Buster. Nice name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a cool name. Yeah, I just like to involve them because, you know, without them, what are we going to talk about? You know,
Exactly.
You should send that drunk lady invite.
We have a lot of other people in chat we ain't named yet.
Yeah, name them all. Or put the chat up on your thing, and I'll put your.
Oh yeah, Eric, share your screen so everybody can always see chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There we go.
Make it bigger. Make it full screen.
Whatever, lady.
Thank you.
Nice. April Runk's in the house.
How's that for big?
Well, no, you silly. Back up one.
Oh, look at that.
A can is stuck.
Well, when it's done being stuck, zoom back out.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I can see that on my little phone.
I had it zoomed.
That's only 500%. No big
Oh,
deal.
right there. Perfect.
Look at that. It's perfect. Man.
One more
We got
up.
max visions of R nuggets.
There, yeah. There we go. Now I can see it. Yeah.
Now I'm trying to find my cigarettes.
Now your blind ass can see it from across the room.
Now I can see it.
Well, I don't have to
What's
see
up,
it.
Free Press 666? My Skies 5D. Thanks for joining us. April Runk. Nice to see you. Free Press. Michelle Can Free. What's up, sweetheart?
Free press. It hasn't happened yet, so it's not soon enough.
Paradigm Buster. I got my Buster.
I wonder if you,
Buster. Hey, what movie was that where Danny Wahlberg was saying, I got my Buster. What movie was that? Was that Assassins or something?
Sounds like something from 1980. I don't know.
It was pretty funny, that movie where he had the chopped up body and he was trying to hide it and he was trying to take his wife. And it ended because he was supposed to kill the girl at the private school.
Eric, is there any way that if we don't have the capacity to do it now or capability to do it now, maybe in the future to have the people that are in chat send pictures of what their skies look like, and then we could share it? I wonder if that's a possibility.
Yeah, they got to email it to me or somebody. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then,
it can't be done in live chat at all.
I wish we could figure that graft out and maybe figure out where they're spraying at certain times. You know what I mean?
They're absolutely doing it first thing in the morning here. It's like you might as well have put a shower curtain up, like a clear shower curtain that, you know, how you can't see through them, but it's still clear.
Yeah. Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
Hey, what's
Cosmic
up,
Christie?
Cosmic Christie?
They seem to stop on weekends for us, though.
Steve,
Well,
I
that's
keep
okay.
thinking I'm going to see you in Fargo movie remake. What's that? Why do you say that, dude? What's up with that, Mike?
We've been having such wind here, though, that the skies can't stay cloudy for very long, man.
Nice.
Yeah. No, Cosmic Christie don't need a spell check. She spells the way she spells for a reason. My skies, it's all good, bro.
Yeah, well, no. What up, Architect? P. Toto, I like Totos. Sunshine on Sophia. Nice. Because of the hat. I don't have a hat on.
I tell you, Steve, that was some good drumming, brother. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was fun, dude. I wish I could keep up with you on that game, though.
Yeah.
Made me feel all stupid with that game. I was like, man, I can't do that.
Awesome, Cosmic Christie. Awesome.
That Leonard Skinner is pretty fast, ain't it?
Can you guys see my picture now? You like this hat? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You got the
What's up, Mary Wins?
Hey,
Nice to see
Mary.
you.
Beautiful.
put you over there.
What, you rearranging the screen on me? I'm taking my video off anyway, just so it's smooth. It goes smoother.
Yeah.
Because my internet keeps jiving out on me.
It does way better when you're just using your avatar, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because look at reality was inverted. Reality is inverted.
Yeah.
And it's that way for a reason, because we're in a reciprocating precessional hyperboloid. That's the apple core of the torus.
Listen, Mr. Fancy Pants, can you put
We're
that
on the inside looking out.
Oh, I
That's
love
what
that.
we got one of our child. He read backwards and tried to speak backwards.
Reminds me of the word hyperbole.
Error message.
Error message on Zoom code.
Here, try that again. There's a link.
There's a link right there, Chris. Anybody want to join, they can just join and we'll let you in.
See, you're tickling mommy's toes with your furry little nose.
Well, you got me having the full screen on this thing, so I can't see them if they do come in.
They'll raise their hand, I think.
Yeah. Just hit the hand button when you come in, people.
Oh, it's over here. I got it.
Hi, Alex. I ain't seen you in a
I ain't seen Alex.
I got it open on the other screen, so it's all good.
While we park on a driveway, we take the subway.
Yeah.
You see the subway symbol, you know, it comes in at the top and goes out at the bottom.
We used to go uptown, now we go downtown.
Yeah, yeah.
But you guys have heard that reciprocating precessional hyperboloid thing, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what ethereal hypothesis says, or Ken Wheeler.
Okay, why are we getting circles all over the chat?
I felt like it.
No, because now we can't see it, you silly.
He's drawing the Toyota symbol.
I'm just going to highlight it for you so you can see it better. That's all.
MCF, my tour ended up being a vacation to South Carolina because of my my wife and my kids.
We were focused. Oh,
I couldn't break the chains. I ain't got my own car, and it wasn't going over so well. So that's the honest to God truth right there.
Did they have fun?
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, I tried. I gave a couple people their money back, and I'm gonna give a couple other people their $20 back that they donated for gas, just because we get chance. Where is Zoom code? And it's he just posted it, Chris.
Yeah, it's in there, right?
All you got to do is tap. Yeah, I want to do it for sure. That was my intent. You know, but to be honest with you, just driving to South Carolina was a bitch.
Right?
Are you sure the link is working for people because I'm not a mod on this account?
No, it should still work.
Actually coming up.
It showed up. I seen it. I seen it on chat. Right here, I can do it too. I got to go to YouTube Live though. Huh?
Oh, hold on. I got to turn this stupid thing off.
I keep wanting to poke the screen so I can chat.
I know. That's what I keep doing right there. I keep trying to answer the chat too. You got to go up, Chris. You post the link again.
Right there. He just put it in.
There you go.
There it is. The number and the link is now there. Thank you so much, Eric.
I don't see it as a link myself.
My guy says Portland's. You don't see the link in YouTube Live? I see it.
I do. Open your eyes.
Yeah, look, it doesn't.
He wrote us a word in symbol.
It doesn't highlight like a link you can click on.
Oh, it doesn't? Yeah, maybe that's why, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because I'm not a moderator. It's not allowing me to.
I'll text it to her. I already texted it to her once.
What is YouTube doing? Seriously.
What do you mean, Miss Mary?
It works for me. I just sent it to you, Christine.
Oh.
What happened? Okay, now, yeah. So, who all thinks that we moved in the big scheme of things? You know, as far as the solar system.
Oh, the spiral arm. You think we've moved on the spiral arm?
I remember us. I remember us existing on the outer one.
Yeah, but that was like that was in the 90s.
We were
Well, you still, it takes 240 million years to go around the whole thing.
We don't know that. That's what they think, but
yeah. See, if you look at electric universe theory with magnetics and magnetic gravity being driven by electricity, you could have vast movements in very quick amount of times suddenly.
Yeah,
because it doesn't have to rely on the slow gravitational Edison, like Newtonian physics. Because
right. If you're considering gravity as a force, right?
Yeah, an electromagnetic force instead of just a mass force.
Yeah, gravity is not a mass force. Gravity is a side effect or a byproduct of magnetism, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's where we. Sorry, Max.
Yeah, so like you can have a planet shift entire orbit, like inward, outward from the sun, by having, say, another electric body move in and disrupting the system. And that could happen suddenly within, I don't know, almost no amount of time, hours, minutes, days.
Yeah, but you do understand that electricity is only due to dielectric and magnetism combined, right? Because electricity is a hybrid of dielectric.
Electricity, you have a magnetic field.
Huh?
Wherever you have electricity, you also have a magnetic field.
No, dielectric field and magnetism make electricity. That's what electricity is born from, the right-hand rule. Right?
Okay. Right.
Is that not what it is? I mean, a dielectric is pretty much static electricity, correct?
I'm not sure on that.
Well, that's what he's talking about. Remember when I said you rub the balloon on your head and you hold it near the faucet on your sink, you turn the water on real low, it'll actually pull the water, which makes more sense if the sun's going around the oceans and it's tied to the salt water, as that would be the same pull as pulling on that water would push the tides.
I thought the moon was responsible for the tides.
My main point of it is that they don't have to move in a Newtonian physics way.
Yeah, I agree with that part of it. Yeah,
solar systems can move in a much different way than Newtonian physics predicts.
You guys mind if I share a picture?
All right, we got
go ahead.
We got Cosmic Christie and Chris.
Cosmic Christie's in the house.
Oh, joy and rapture.
Hello.
Thank you for
Can y'all hear me?
Hey, beautiful.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Now this, I believe the name of that company is Magic Leap. And
that's cool.
How'd you get my picture?
Online, you can find where they're capable of doing complete movement, just like a movie. Water splashing. I mean, the problem I see with that is they can so manipulate our reality.
Right.
Yes.
The other direction, kind of. And if you're going to put up a silver screen in the sky, which is essentially what you see, boy, imagine what you could project.
Yep.
But that was stopped. This is Cosmic Christie in here. I jumped in real quick. Y'all were right on with the water and the energy, right? When you talked about the balloon and rubbing it, creating that static. And then when you started talking about the addition to the water, that is exactly what was missing from the planet and our human genome. That is where all of the cloning and all the artificial was manipulated from, was from the bottom of the ocean and the air. It was all the links between the air and the water.
Yeah, because I think on Discovery they talked about that, where they could actually make the Earth do things. They can program it.
Well, they could, because they were controlling.
Is a catalyst. Period. That's the whole separation of the cosmic ocean, to saltwater and freshwater.
Well, it's
Right.
like if you had a 9-volt battery with a light and you cut the wire, you put the 2 wires in the water, the light won't come on. But if you add salt to the water and then put the 2 wires in there, the DC current would turn the light on because it has something to pass through.
And 97% of the planet is
Salt water.
and 97% of the body is.
That's why we got salt in our tears, in our skin when we sweat.
Very good point.
And 97% of the DNA that was not active in our DNA field was connected to the water.
Because we're made in the likeness of how the cosmos work.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But what I was saying is, that the whole electric cosmos thing is true to a certain point, but it's a combination of magnetism, permanent magnetism and dielectric field, because that's all that gravity in essence really is force in motion and loss of inertia due to the magnetics in a dielectric medium. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's what creates electricity. That's what creates the plasma.
Well, false electricity or organic electricity, because the fractalization of our human genome, because we are all one. We are all one with the planet. That is how it is organically made. Each one of our bodies are part of this planetary body. We make it up as human beings on this planet. And when we talk about going back to the original monad seed, which is what has been done now, because it had to be done, because what was being done to the planet for so long was literally the wind dragon, one of the 4 elements, was put at the bottom of the ocean and restrained through AI and static electricity, which then is what, and through these numbers and these matrix codes of controlling that balance and controlling gravity and harnessing it to sell us energy, all fractaled our seed. So what has happened now is that our seed has been put back together, and little by little, the population is getting the Trinity DNA as your vessels are purified, which is what's all happening right now, especially with people, on this live, right? But it's going to continue to flow through the plasma, because we are the plasma. The AB negative bloodlines on the planet is the plasma. Each one of us brought in different templates, but now we have all of it. Well, as on this next eclipse, 15% of the population will, as energetically, not per person, I'm talking energy, will have this DNA now. And so what is happening is that the magnetic charge of the planet and our true organic state of abundance and energy is now all quantumly programmed into our reality and our bodies, because that was the mission always. There was so much, humanity was never supposed to ascend this quickly, but there was always steps. There's an evolutionary process.
Where did you get all this information from?
Oh, she studied.
From Maya Kosh. No,
Yeah.
well, no, directly from Maya Kosh.
Who's Maya Kosh?
You're Akash. You're Akashic Records.
Yeah.
You're Akashic Records. And I have lived the experiences in this life, and I've had the experiences over the past 10 days of this AI hijack and everything that was attempted on the human genome.
Isn't the speed up being done because it was hijacked for so long?
That sounds like something that is just going to confuse people, to be honest with you, in my opinion.
Well, I think it goes with the Bible.
Understand
when you start adding AI and all that to things, I have no idea what AI is. Do you really know what AI is? Other than what the conspiracy videos are on YouTube? For real? Do you?
It's static electricity. It's unorganic electricity.
Yeah. Yep, it is.
What do you mean by unorganic? What do you mean by that?
Well, there's an organic flow to the magnetism as you discussed, right? I mean, because the universe is polarity.
Some
right?
people would call it natural, but organic, natural, same thing.
Right, yeah. Different words.
Well,
And
that's
this is
where-
okay. And it's okay that not everyone accepts. I mean, because this is a very high level explanation of it, but we were talking high level energetics.
Right.
And
So they're unlocking
and-
our DNA.
right.
How do
So
we
the
accelerate
God-
this?
What's the who's they and
All flesh.
Well,
I mean,
we can
what's the
get we
purpose
could
and
get
what's the point for them doing it, and who? I mean, you know what I'm getting at here. I'm just confused.
yes.
Well, I think,
Well, the
I think they
purpose.
had to find the
Go ahead.
days of Noah.
Yes.
They had to do it.
Yes.
Who's they?
The powers
Who's
that be.
they?
Yeah,
That's my point. Who's they?
Ultimate powers.
our leaders we're supposed to pray for.
What about you? I mean, who's they? I don't attribute anything I get out of it from anybody else. My
Well,
point.
it's like the works
Well-
the works we're doing, others have done these works too.
The low frequency, the side of the family, because this has always been a family war. There was only, I mean, there always started with one seed. Then it
Right.
became 4. Then we had 4 sets of twins. I mean, we could go, this is going back to the origination of the planets, going back
Back
all
to
the way
the
down
Noah.
into Joshua and Mary Magdalene and the 13th bloodline, right? So there was one branch of that seed that makes up basically your Rockefellers, Boyce, Hogan. I mean, you're right. Those,
Right.
Yeah.
they in order for them to make money and enslave humanity, what they did was they took our energy. Energy is not supposed to be charged. Energy is supposed to be free. The financial system, the way it is set up, is an enslavement tool.
Well, yeah.
It's a matrix, but understand that every transaction that you run on a credit card, your address, your social security number, your phone number, all of that since 2012, because this ascension was hijacked in 2012. And I won't get, but that's when the major inversion happened. This ascension.
It's building
But
Sim
your
City.
ascension, in my opinion, is an individual thing, and nobody can hijack it from you.
I agree, but you have to remember that someone has to set it up on the planet first.
No,
Right.
not
Yes,
true.
it's
Not
all
true.
yes,
You're
true.
connected
It's all
to God by
no.
yourself. God's the
No,
only one that
no.
can ascend you. You can't ascend no other
And-
way.
And then who's gonna ascend the planet? Who's gonna connect everything that needs to be done? The ancients
Right.
came back in this time in order to be conscious, in order to connect all of these things.
Right.
Literally, the human body had to be reconnected and recalibrated back nitrogen balance. You're controlling your bodies now.
Back to the days of Noah.
I don't
Yeah.
agree with that stuff.
You heard-
I think that
That's
stuff is,
okay, and I appreciate that. And if you would like me to, I will step out.
I think it's no. You can. I appreciate your input because it's adding
Another
more
layer.
an outlook or a repertoire to my thought, and I appreciate it totally. I just don't agree with the whole they thing and anybody hijacking your ascension. And yeah, sure, the planet.
No. Understand that the hijack was done on all of us. It was when every million years, because in this time we are not just starting one new cycle. We're starting a new galactic cycle. We're starting a new 26,000 year cycle. We're starting a new 300-year cycle, and a new 80-year cycle.
Yep.
This is a cycle that humanity has never seen. And why it kept getting replicated and why our souls were not going back to source is because of this distortion in our field.
So you're saying that our souls not going back to source? What do you mean by that?
Meaning,
Reincarnation trap.
Is that like
There is no way for any entity other to hijack our energy from God. There's no way, because we are the part of the monad. There's only one source.
yes, there is
And
a
that's
way
God.
whenever the monad genome was split so many times that you weren't able to make your connection with God, which is why the world is the way it is right now.
Right.
Well, that's due to our own ignorance, isn't it?
No, not all of it. No. The
It
financial system,
may be
everything.
manipulated, but
It was manipulated at a human genome level. And that is why we're going through such a quantum shift right now. That's why the wind sparked up. That's why the hurricanes, because we have taken our natural organic energy out of all of the corporations. They no longer have access to the organic energy on this planet. Understand that this all just happened. Okay. I mean, this is
corporations are corpse or dead. The dead
right.
sea.
I don't know. First of all, I won't accept that because that just makes it impossible for anybody to get what we're after, and I just don't think that's.
No, it actually makes it easy.
No, it puts everybody back on track.
Yes.
Right?
Let me ask you this.
What are you going to do about it,
Steve? You said this before, and I believe you agreed with this before, but you said that you know about the star seeds, right?
What do you mean by that?
How that the star seeds are supposedly people that come back to help out, right?
Right.
I think we talked about.
Well, they're called angels, yeah.
Well,
people that have made the union.
Let me ask you this: if it was all the same plan as it was before, and everybody's on an individual status, why would they need to come back?
Because of human beings and their ignorance and their inability to see past the five senses.
Yeah, and if I have my way, I'd come back to fix this world so we can raise enlightened people.
Right, exactly.
I'm coming back.
Right, and I believe we have been here before. I believe that Max has been here. Probably Cosmic Christie's been here too. I believe we all have.
I've been here for more than 300,000 years, over 1 million.
Right.
All right. Every soul on this planet has been here since 636 CE. That's the youngest.
Wow.
I think we need to raise the entire elevator floor.
Yeah.
That's what's happening, brother.
Yes.
That's what happened.
So what you're saying is some malevolent force hijacked the Matrix because it's a Matrix to begin with, right?
What I'm explaining is how the Matrix originally got set up, and how it was distorted, because originally we all came in to clear karma, right? You come in, you learn lessons of what energy you hold. So if you've got a lot of fiery energy, then you're going to have a lot of people yelling at you, or you're going to be yelling at a lot of people. You're going to you learn how to. Right? You learn how to control and balance that energy. Well,
it was
what was
like
happening?
A learning arena. Sorry.
But you do understand that your only purpose here to begin with is just to be harvested, and your light to be harvested to create the creation in the first place, right?
Well, that is under the old control. I do not agree with that, and that is what we have fixed. You are no longer harvested. If you're harvested, that's your choice.
Well, I don't mean harvested by harvested. I mean that's we're here for our pineal light to continue the creation.
Yes, sir, that is, and I am telling you how it's possible, because we have, this is heaven on earth. This is what we all signed up for. It's here, and what that means. And this is Nasara Gasara. This is the RV, or the VR. This is Saint Germain. This is our birthright. Every single one of us. That we have the ability to reach the Trinity, and that is what is available to everyone right now. And the 144,000 are already on the ground. The ascended masters are already here. We have ascended on different towns in the physical, clearing out karma and energy to release these energy grids that I speak of. Again, this just happened.
Wow.
Well, I don't think anybody's coming here to save me but myself, really.
Well, you can only save yourself, but understand that there was mass amounts of distortion within the human genome, and there was mass amounts of distortion within everything. Everything was out of balance because it was all masculine. It's all programmed. It's all energy. So it's all zeros and ones is what it was. Well, ones are Zeus. Ones are lines. Ones are bars.
Right.
Because numbers are just frequency. You know, numbers are just frequencies. Well, a 2 is how everything is created from the Fibonacci sequence. A 2 is the feminine seed, which is the feminine is the only one that can create. So a 2 makes the energy go circle, right? Well, if you take 2 2s and you flip them upside down and you mirror and merge them, then there you have the beginning of the Fibonacci sequence, 1 1 2.
Right.
It's from the 11. So what I'm saying is, from a very macro vision, what happened was this reality had always only been generated off one original 2 seed, meaning the natural genome was always supposed to regenerate and go back to original monad form. And what's done is that it was cloned and it was broken down more and more and more at the bottom to where it wouldn't go back up, you know, like a hyperstar. It was blocking it. So literally what we had to do is ancient beings that held higher templates had to incarnate in order to be conscious, in order to reconnect these things in our genome. Once they're reconnected in the genome, then it has a as within, so without effect, because everything has a cause and effect. So it goes from within and then it comes without. And what's happened now is that in your reality, you're seeing all the falseness just decline, because energy never leaves the planet. So when we talk about low frequencies, it's not that they just all get sent off planet, which, don't get me wrong, some have been, but they're entities, they're not faces. The rest of it is transmuted. So you're correct. Every person has to have their own ascension. It cannot be done for them. However, what I'm telling you is because of all the work of the beings, all of us have been doing it together. When you fully wake up, you're going to remember all of it. But right now, what I'm saying is there's enough of us here that are fully conscious that we have done it. And now we have a trinity in our DNA, and we have 3 realms. We have a Lyra realm, a Gaia realm, and an Earth realm.
So
All
you're
in
saying
one.
you've made the divine union, the alchemical wedding. You've
Yes.
met God. You've your brain's been turned into
Yes.
Okay, so explain that to me then. Exactly
Well,
what that means to you.
Well, we would need all night. I mean,
Right.
Well, I mean, there's 4 words you could say to me that make me believe you, and that's all you have to say.
well, I don't have to. I mean, I appreciate that, but I'm not going to be forced to give you the 4 words that you are looking for.
Well, I'm not trying to force you. I'm just saying, convince me. I mean, you haven't convinced me because
well, you look within.
That Sangri guy, he would never talk about the AI and stuff hijacking the planet because he's enlightened, because it doesn't matter to him, because he knows it doesn't.
It just happened March 1st. He wasn't involved in it. They weren't trying to do it to him. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter.
No, it
because
no, it doesn't.
Yes,
because
it does, because there's artificial intelligence in your DNA now.
That's
That
the
is
whole
what
AI we've been talking about, Paula.
it's actually IA. It's
you see what this does, though? You see what this does? This corrupts your thinking and makes you just sidetracks you.
Well, it's in the Bible, brother.
Book.
It sidetracks you. It sidetracks you, in my opinion. It talks about AI in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Straight up AI, artificial intelligence.
Well, I already have the scripture in my window. All I got to do is switch windows. AI destroyed. Joshua 8, New International Version. Then the Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Take the whole army with you. That's the army that she's talking about. And go up.
Where does it say artificial intelligence?
And go up and attack AI. For I have delivered it into your hands.
Yeah.
The king of AI, his people, his city, and his land, you shall due
Yeah, I
to
don't know.
AI and its thing.
I'm sorry, that's me.
To
I don't agree with the
Jericho
whole.
and its thing.
I don't agree with the whole nefarious doctrine, and it's like scare tactics. You know what I mean? I don't agree.
No, it's not. No, it's not
No.
fear tactics. What it is
No.
that you
It's
have to
history.
see it
It's-
so that it can't be recreated again. You have to remember that what we focus on as a collective is what we create. It's
Right.
funny that you're looking for the word artificial intelligence. Understand that every syllable that you speak is frequency. So the words, even the way that they're written and all these grammatical, and when you say artificial intelligence, literally you are building it around you. So it's not written like that, brother. It's AI.
Right.
Even our language needs to change. We know the keys now. We are in complete knowledge. It's in the consciousness because we're all connected through the plasma. Please understand what I'm trying to explain is that originally when I came on, we were talking about energy and we were talking about how the magnetic poles and things are changing. And this is what is changing it.
Spirit means
What's changing it?
That our bodies are reconnecting into one, meaning we are no Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon. It wasn't just the separation of languages. Remember, every letter, every word, just us speaking about this like this in this detail creates that reality around you.
That's my point.
That's how it works.
That's my point. That's
Right.
exactly my point.
But you have to
Exactly my
see, but if we ignore it like we did in Kim.
So why? So what do you mean?
Listen,
By not ignoring it, you're not giving it power.
Listen, no, I'm not.
It doesn't make
right
sense.
Right now, I'm speaking to everyone so they know what it is, and I'm incurring the
You're
karma and clearing it to do it.
You're planting the idea in everybody's head, so therefore it's
No, I'm not.
propagated.
No, what I'm doing
Yeah,
is
you are.
well, can you let me finish? We learned this lesson in Kim. When we did this in Kim, what we did is we hid all of this in ancient text. So then what happened was whenever we awoke, we were confused because it was manipulated. It wasn't put into the consciousness. And that will never happen again per source. Everyone will understand what has happened so it cannot replicate.
Right. We don't want it
replicating it then by giving it power and giving it words and telling me about it. I knew nothing about what you're saying until now.
But it's necessary that you understand it if you're going to embody the Trinity.
I already embodied the Trinity.
Okay.
It's inherently within all of us. It's there.
It's not activated though. That's why you asked me how to activate it. I'm explaining it to you.
But by giving something else your attention and your power is not going to activate what you need to activate by giving that power. And you just said it yourself. So
with all due respect, I did not create this. I just we got us out of it. All of us did. We were all connected.
Christy, you just told me that if you talk about it, you're giving it power, and by the words, you're giving it energy. Did you not?
Yes.
So you,
and then what did I say?
People,
and then what did I know?
That have never heard it from anybody else. Now they have, and now they're going to repropagate that information. So therefore, it's going to give
good.
You understand what I'm saying?
No, they're not giving it power. They are showing what is going to happen because you're not hearing what I'm saying. The DNA that is coming in is not just the monad DNA. This is not just the original monad template. What is being embodied within all of us is pure divine source, but it's also now connected to the etheric. It is, to the technology. This is how we have plasma ships in the future. This is how.
Anything to do with Exodus 13:12?
What is that? Can you read it? There's always Exodus a reason it comes up. Always.
That thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix, and every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the male shall be the Lord's. Does that have anything to do with it?
Yes.
That shall set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix.
or womb.
Right.
So what you're saying is that there's good AI and there's bad AI is what you're saying then.
There's really an inversion of everything in this because there was always a polarity of everything. And for the most part, in this realm at the densities we were at, we were experiencing the bad mirror of everything that is true. It's why, you know, we innately couldn't find the love, you know, that we were always looking for. We were always searching for something and something, and we couldn't understand why. It was because when you're in the lower densities, the energy is fractaled out because the body cannot hold the amount of energy. You know, it's all been a process in order to elevate the human body to even be able to activate everything to make the final connections so that you're getting not just source, but this is all of your ancestors. This is all of your knowledge. This is 97% of your DNA. That it's how you just, it's how, like, I just know all this stuff. I don't know Christy, and it's in her, I mean, it's like you're channeling it all the time. You're connected. It's how we're supposed to be, so we can continue to build what our ancestors left behind for us to build and learn from their mistakes.
Right.
It's really, it's not bullshit at all, Steve. It really ain't.
Well, I'm not saying it's bullshit. I think I'm starting to understand what she's talking about.
One way I think you can get.
I've already had those. I've already had them. The moments what she's talking about, where I had these aha moments and everything, but it was before March 1st.
No. Understand, there really is. Because we're all in different dimensions of time. But you have to remember that there are those of us who came back to assist, and we just completed a bunch of these missions. The reason I jumped on is because Rainbow Phoenix and I have been sisters and working through some of this. She's been assisting in some of the spiritual stuff. There's a lot of us that have been connected and working together. I just happened to be the one who ended up in the experience, you know, and so much more, because there's so much more to this conversation, you know, involved to what the matrix really is. This was the point, you know, the reason that they when we fully activate, we activate all of our Akash, we activate all of our lineage. Well, those of us like me who happen to have the dark lineage in me, you know, because if you will, from a cosmic egg perspective, you know, it's like I'm the God and devil's baby. And that was the right. But understand that they're right. But please understand that Akash and all of us wasn't activated. There was one puppet master behind the strings that was running everything energetically. And it's so simple. And it's these matrix keys and its frequencies. And that is why
the cord, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Remember when the little hexagon on Saturn at the top of Saturn went away? That was the control frequencies.
Yes.
Now that went away.
When did that happen?
Last year, when the first energy wave came in.
I just saw a picture of that very image 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was sometime late last year, I think.
Shooting towards the moon from Saturn.
You're what? Shooting towards the moon? What? What did you say?
Some kind of laser beams or something. I'll look for it.
Well, or sound frequencies or something.
Yeah.
I remember hearing something about that.
Are you talking about those ones that are being tracked from like Antarctica?
Christy, to me, the way you're describing all this, it just doesn't. I don't know. It sounds to me like you mean what you say, and that you're from 100%. You sound like you're 100% convinced of what you're saying, but I don't understand what you mean by all of it, because it sounds like you're just talking in a circle to me. You know, you told me not to say artificial intelligence because I'm creating some bubble around me, when yet you're telling me all about it when I never even brought it up before that. I don't get where you're getting at with that.
I appreciate I appreciate that.
Well, I'm not trying to be smite or nothing.
No, I'm not trying to be difficult, but understand that that's part of the human ascension process is a lot of the times the information that we give, just like the people that come and watch your channel, they might not know about energy, but they're listening to you and part of them gets it. And then whenever they leave your channel, then they're going to go, oh, wait, what was he talking about? I'm going to go look that up. And when they go look that up, then it starts them on a trickle effect, because then your guides will start showing you, because we're in a rapid ascension right now. It does not have to be hard. We're not on mountains meditating for 30 hours anymore.
Right.
As you go through the process, Steve, what ends up happening is you learn to differentiate where you can speak about something, you're speaking truth about it, but you're not putting energy positively or negatively.
You inherently know that by the truth, because there's only one truth there. There's only one truth, and that's
But what I'm saying is, you get to the point where
severity and merciful of the one. We're all part of the one energy, though, right?
Yes, but when you have and so how it was run is when any of us had fear, trauma, remorse, judgment, hate, what happens energetically is that you become a magnet, especially in the lower dimensions. So every time something scares you and you react to it in judgment, that thing just scared me, and how dare that person be so, mean to me or whatever. You have to realize that you created that. I mean, everything in the lower realms is a mirror. That's the point. Now it was fractaled out to hell. So it's like that simple lesson of starting and riding your bike and starting with your right foot. Next time you're going to start with your left foot. Then the way it was set up became like a 3 lifelong freaking journey of trying to figure out to start with your left instead of your right.
Right. Pun intended.
So, but what we learn to do is be observers, because so in this instance, I'm not attaching any longer to any fear about any of that. That is why I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it to let everyone know it's done. There is no reason to be scared. AI and robots is not coming to take over. The reason I keep saying it, okay, right? But other people,
you're saying that AI has been defeated and all that is what you're saying, or I mean,
yes.
Well, it sounded like the opposite to me for some reason. Why did I think that?
Well, because before it wasn't defeated and now it is. That's all she was
talking
saying.
about. He's saying that somehow or another he heard me say something differently, and that's completely, I'm not sure, but
I really did. I thought you said that we're hijacked and AI has got us by the nuts and we're fucked.
Right.
That's what I heard.
No.
Or something.
Hold on, Max. Go again.
What, Max?
I thought we were under some type of a field we couldn't ascend or something, like the Saturn moon matrix or something.
Exactly what it was.
That was the way it sounded to me as well.
And that's
Bellatrix.
how I see it. I see it as basically that we're getting the help we need to get the system reset to the way it's supposed to be.
There's no help, buddy. The only help is with there is no help. You're the only one that can do it for yourself, man.
Well,
nobody can do it for you.
If you say there's no help, but you heard about 5-6 people here already say that if they had a choice, they would come back to help. So obviously there's help.
That's what we're doing right here. That's the
only. But how is there no help then? If there's help,
well, you know what I mean by that.
No, I don't.
Nobody's going to come here and save you.
I'm going to give you a hard time like you gave Christy.
Huh?
Well, see,
I didn't mean to give her a hard time. I'm trying to get
but we have
to the bottom of what you're saying, and I'm glad that we talked it over, because
I would say a good point to start off with, if you haven't, Steve, or anybody in the chat hasn't, is the old school Dave Wilcox stuff before like Gaia TV crap and Corey Good. Anything before Corey Good, but the stuff where he's talking about sacred geometry, the law of one, the ascension process.
Right, that's the stuff I study. That's what I study, is that stuff.
Well, if you study that stuff from David Wilcock, we'll put it in some pretty plain English terms. And my only problem I have with that whole thing is that it's supposed to be happening 2-3 years now. Every year, some big event, and every year, no event happens.
But there's not going to be any group event. It's going to be one by one, dude.
I
That's
hope
how
there is.
You are already seeing a land hurricane that has came from Dallas, where it's lighting up.
Well,
blue
yeah,
and
because
red
that's
in the
we're at
skies.
the set of this cycle. Every
No,
cycle has a set.
exactly. No,
Yeah.
but what's happening is that our energy and the 737s that are falling out of the sky, and the reason that they're grounded is because our energy is the 3 energy.
It's not our energy. It's the planet's
Yes,
energy.
it is.
It's the end of the cycle.
We are the planet. We
are
are
the
the
planet.
planet.
Steve,
What is the
are
cycle
the
then?
world.
Steve, if you want to say
Whenever-
there's no separation between us and them, then how can you say there's no separation between us and the planet? There is.
Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying it's the set of the cycle, man. The whole, everything. Everything's the beginning and the end, all in once.
all connected, bro. Everything.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not saying by no means am I saying it's not connected.
Okay.
I'm saying that there it's called a cycle for a reason. You know, it's not a linear
And what
thing.
does cycle and what does
Going up.
cycles do?
Yeah,
And
but
what
this
is
is a
cycles
cycle
do?
of
Begin and
times.
cycles end.
This is a
cycles
cycle.
begin.
And they repeat. And they
Yes,
repeat.
and they repeat. Yes.
Okay.
How often do you think this
Okay.
many cycles line up?
I think it's a circuit.
I think
There
these
you
cycles
go.
line up every probably 26 million years or so.
Nah.
No.
I think it's more of a circuit. Well, same.
I don't know.
mean,
I don't know. I'm not
I
I'm not
mean,
claiming to know, and I don't know how anybody else can claim to know.
because it's astrology. If you go look at astrology, it's basically a big clock. Pluto goes all the way around every 80 years. I can look at someone's chart by where their Pluto is and know how old they are.
Pluto goes around every 240 years, honey, not 80.
Well, then that's Uranus.
Right. But she, if she's
Uranus
looking
is
at her
80.
chart, she is spot
But
on.
see what you did. But see what you did. You found the one thing, and this is okay. I'm just showing you.
No, I'm not
that
finding
this is,
nothing. I'm just
No,
telling
no.
you because I've
Well,
studied Pluto, and I've
okay.
gotten into that much.
Well, then
and-
then you know the cycles. Then you already know them. You just told them to me.
well, no, I just know that part of the cycle. I don't know them all.
But right. Well, that's a cycle within a cycle. And then you have your 26,000 year cycle, which is the precession of equinoxes, which started in August.
20 years, yes.
Well, it's actually been 26,532
Well, now you're
because it was
changing the
prolonged. No,
Yeah.
because it was prolonged,
Why? Because you know,
which is why,
right? I mean,
which
I
is
don't
why
Bible
we had to
says-
return.
Yeah.
because of what?
This is why we had to return, because
Who's
it
we?
was off.
All of us.
All of it. There are so many light beings we are all star seeds. Every single one of us are star seeds. When Yahshua was born, remember, we saw it. When you look back at astronomy is a great place to start with this, because whenever you look back at astronomy, basically remember, as above, so below. So for instance, when we look at the birth of Jesus or Yahshua, that the reason that they saw the Syrian star so bright is because that energy was now on Earth. So when you go back in astronomy and you see when stars were first saw by people on land, that was the groupings of our DNA that were forming energetics in the sky. So if you will, Planet X, Nibiru, that's us. That's all of us. That's the energy of change. And it always comes in, and it's in cycles around Venus.
Planet X or Nibiru is a story of ascension, is a story of the divine union, is just like everything else in our reality. And Sirius, the star Sirius, is actually you looking up at the effulgence, the demiurge. You know, you can look at it as the Fool card. You are the Fool as the dog star looking up at Orion, or you can look at it that the dog star is the little dog on what's that little cartoon? I don't know, but it's you can look at it several ways. All Sirius is it could be our home or whatever. I don't know.
Careful what you say.
Is that God or Jesus is just a personification of the light? It's not. I don't know if he was real or not. I don't know.
And
nobody does.
Okay, so Sirius, and so this is starseedology. This is, in order for me to wake up, there were so many things and so many steps that I went through as a human, because I didn't know any of this before I just got a flash awakening. I had a shock Kundalini activation in May of 2017. I didn't know any of this. So step by step, I was just like you. I had no idea of any of it. And step by step, so one of the things that came out was starseedology. And this is quantum astrology, because whatever energy you hold in your field is what you brought into this dimension. And for instance, when you have Syrian DNA, and the reason that it said that Joshua and Mary Magdalene were Syrian is because what that means is that the energy that's in your field is the body, and the body is the flesh, the skin is linked to the water. That's why Sirius is in Cancer. Okay. So meaning it's very linked to the embodiment of energy. Why? Because we're the fish. What are fish? Low density. We would probably weigh like 10,000 pounds on Sirius, but it's collective consciousness. Fish swim in groups. The consciousness on the planet was always at the base of the ocean, because that's where the energy. Yes.
I had to do that for Jerry.
I don't know. I don't want to argue with you.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm going to jump off.
What you're doing is,
I'm going to jump off. I'm going to jump off because I'm tired. I really am. Yeah, I love you guys so much.
I appreciate you sharing your opinion. I definitely do, and I just don't want to confuse people. And I don't follow. I don't need any of that stuff you just talked about for me to meet God or to do what I need to do. But I mean, you can use whatever you need to use for you to get there, but I can't use that, and I don't agree with none of it.
I think there's a group and an individual.
As above, so below.
I just think you're you're I don't know. I'm more confused than I ever was if I follow that. And that's
we all come together to make these videos to help each other and everyone who shows up or sees it later, don't we?
You know what, Steve? That's perfectly fine, because by you doing you're still helping all.
You're still helping all.
Oh, right.
And that's why I'm so grateful.
People. And I appreciate your input, though. I really do, because I'll take away something from it, I'm sure.
I do want
to
add. We all
have pieces of the puzzle.
Yes, exactly.
Even if we don't know.
Keys. Right. We all have keys. Each of us have keys. And understand that this was never supposed to be this complex. And understand that there is a war. Right now, we're in tribulation. We still have 6 years. So, this complex information sometimes is exactly what some people need to hear, because they're programmed. They need to hear that part. Other people, it doesn't make sense to them, and they need to hear more on the love and the body. I mean, we all are, whatever our experience, it helps each and every one of us. And I'm so very grateful for even the debate. I truly am, because debating these, yes, I truly am very grateful to even have this opportunity. And I thank Rainbow Phoenix, and I thank all of you for allowing me to show up and speak today. Truly.
Gosh, I am so grateful for you and everyone here.
You're welcome.
You and I will just have to get down and dirty, and
I need to do your starseedology chart. That's what I need to do. I need to show you the
give her your birthday. She'll show you.
Like I said, convince me.
I had sent her an email, but I heard back from her yet.
Well, and it's been crazy, because I just told you, I haven't even told, if you want to hear the whole story of what went down in the experience, because again, so many of y'all were having dreams. So many of y'all were doing so many different things this past week that might not have made sense to you. And whenever you hear what happened, it really makes sense, and it shows you how we are so connected, because every single one of us, no matter what was going on the ground through all of this, was working together. And that's the whole point.
Weird ionic ring vortex dream state while I was awake. It was weird. I don't know.
I apparently have dreams where I yell at people all the time, so my wife tells me.
Cosmic Christy, you got to hear this dream I had last night real quick. I dreamt that the cops showed up to my house because there was a diamond, a huge diamond hidden in the tank of my toilet.
That's so interesting because right when you get back to the organic, and I had just had to decode diamond and pearl, because pearl is actually the true, right? It takes time. It's the opal. It's, so that's interesting. And then cops is 3, 6, 7, 1. Okay, because C is 3, O is 6. So you've got 7. P is 7. So you've got 13 in the middle. Okay, and 13 was everything about the bloodlines. This is how the matrix was coded. This is how, when I speak of your numbers that are around you, in all the transactions, they aren't batch numbers. They're frequencies that they were throwing at us energetically, keeping us. I know it sounds really simple, but it is how the dang thing works. Okay.
Right.
So basically, COPS has the 13 in there, and then I've got 3 and then 1 on the end. So 7, that's 8 in completion, but the 13 has a 3 and a 1 on each side. So that's like keeping it kind of in bars, that's what COPS, that's the word, right?
That's what cops do. They put you behind bars.
Yeah. That's justice.
That's
so it's like the toilet or something, right? So I don't know the rest of it.
I'd definitely be interested in hearing an update on what's happening, because I had some weird dream about something where I was arguing or fighting over control, or something to do with something that controlled the water, and I don't really remember.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm telling you. Because what we were all doing dimensionally is fighting off we were taking back control of the water, and it all had to be done consciously. We were all doing it in different ways. So many other people might have found themselves like in business meetings or something, where everyone around them was trying to convince them to do something that they knew just wasn't right. Even your family, even, just any situation that was coming up that was making you feel uncomfortable, to where you knew that you were being baby in the corner if you didn't stand your ground. It was like every single one of us, it was happening either dimensionally or it was happening in your physical, depending on what timeline you came in on, right? So in one way, you were arguing over the water because this is a past memory that you had in your ancestral DNA, and it's all been activated now so that we could take back control.
Interesting.
And so Eric has sent you an email, sister. He wants you to do his
Perfect.
chart. And Slightly Slanted Steve, I really hope that you will also give Cosmic Christie your birth information. In fact, brother, if you give it to me, I'll give it to her.
5/22/1973.
Well, I tell you what, why don't I'll do y'all's charts and then we'll do another live.
That's close to mine. That'd be awesome. Mine 7/22/72.
So then I can invite my audience from my channel, because then they can hear, because this is basically multidimensional psychology is really what it boils down to. It really helps us explain our energy field, and it helps us explain the programs that are in our mind, just so you can see it. So that, because really all you have to do is see it, just be aware, like you are correct. If I was online, it's Steve, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
If I was on here going, oh my God, AI's gonna come get us.
Yeah, right.
That's one thing. But me coming and saying, hey, this is what happened, and okay, just it's in your awareness now. Now you can put that to bed, number one, but now you can see because you see there's a timeline out there that people still could attach to. Right.
Okay, so what's your opinion? What's your opinion on chemtrails then? Why is there chemtrails?
Because our energy is soaring so high, and they're trying to spray chemicals to keep the atmosphere down, so it's more dense, so it reflects more, so that we get more. Everything comes at us faster. because our energy all of our organic energy now is connected, all the way through the planet and cycling. This is why all the ancient volcanoes went off, which they've been going off, but now the ancient ones at the core just started going off in the past 5 days.
Wow. Awesome.
Well, that could be, but I think that they're assaulting the sun at the horizons for some reason, not at, because you can look up high noon and see the sun plain as day. But then
we have two suns. We always had two suns, and now this is the second sun. This is Ser-Ra. This is the twin suns. That's why the sun looks different. Everything's going to look different because everything was artificial before.
Yeah, exactly. But you'll see, Steve. You'll see.
Is there supposed to be is the event or the flash? Is that something that's going to happen? And
yes,
is that
it will happen? Because remember, this again, we were never supposed to go through a shift this drastic. Meaning, we weren't supposed to go from caveman to entrepreneur, right? There was always supposed to be a progression, but it was impossible when we change the body, because our bodies are literally changing. This is why you're not eating as much. This is why your sleep patterns are messed up. This is why your brains are foggy.
So why am I fat?
This is why. You're hanging on.
You're not.
Do you really want me to tell you?
I'm eating a lot. Believe me, I eat a lot.
That's because you are getting it's. Well, you're still hanging on to emotions. You're still hanging on to trauma and emotions of things, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
At a soul level.
I think it's because I haven't been working 50
pounds.
Well, when you now I can eat.
I won't be so fat, but right now I'm fat.
Well, now I can eat anything. You can eat absolutely anything. I used to have a gluten allergy. I couldn't even eat bread. I would blow up huge after 2012 because we did have an inversion that I'm not even going to get into all that because it's deep as hell. And if this much blew your mind, then that much is going to really screw you up. So if you want to hear, check it out on my channel.
To be under the table.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
In the fetal position, crying.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But now I can eat anything. I can eat anything, and I eat what I want when I need it. Because remember, and you don't have to go all vegan, and you don't have to cut out sugar, because sugar actually, now true sugar, not chemical sugar, but true sugar helps the crystalline body. Because that's basically your body is becoming more crystalline. The body,
So raw
sugar feeds cancer cells and all that stuff. So I don't agree with that either.
Well, cancer is made up. Cancer is made up. I'm not saying that people don't have cancer. I'm saying that people give themselves cancer. Yeah. You telling yourself this is how generational cancer starts. This is how they convinced us we had to die.
Yeah.
People got cancer because they thought their parents had cancer. So then they thought they were going to get it and they manifested it.
Your mind.
Right.
That is what happened.
All right. Thanks, Christy. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Take it easy.
Thank you, Christy. Love you.
Love you too, love. Now I got to figure out how to get back to Zoom. Hold on. How do I hang up? Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
Okay. We will do this again, though, after she gets your charts done, yours and Eric's, and then we'll come back on here so she can blow your mind because...
All right. I want to hear from Max. I want to hear what Max thinks about everything she just said.
And the other guy that's in here that I don't know yet.
And Jerry.
Yes. Well, Jerry and the other guy.
That's Chris. Another Chris.
Nomad.
Rodney.
Is Chris here now too?
Yeah.
Did we lose Max?
No.
Oh, he's here.
All right.
Okay, Max, shoot.
Max, Nomad, go
What's your
for
opinion?
Give us a vision.
I can neither confirm nor deny anything she said.
Very good politically correct answer.
That is the only answer I can give you. I have so few beliefs now. that's an opinion. I have
What's your gut tell you on the
thousands of
subject?
opinions piled up in my head. I'll add that one to them.
Yeah.
I hope it's true. It sounds great, you know. It goes right along with what I'm doing, so that's fine, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
That would be my opinion on it. If it's not going to get in the way of me having my Christos raised, then I'm fine with it, you know.
Nope, it's totally going to assist.
Not taking anybody down a wrong path,
Right.
but I can neither confirm nor deny any of that. I haven't looked into anything like that.
Okay, very good. What do you think, Jerry?
I think there's a lot of truth, and you know, you got, like he said, you really got to use your gut, stomach brain. You know, if it really settles in there, truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know, if those days not shortened for the elect's sake, you know, and we
That
had the
was-
days of Noah, and you know, it's coming to a where we get our souls are promised our estate for the rest, you know, a place to live, whether it's this physical or it's another kind of estate, you know, that I inherit my promised land, for my soul. But I think it's gonna be here on earth, dude. It's gonna come to that kingdom of you know, Lord's Prayer, because you know he does all things, because that's why you pray, lead me not in temptation. That's why I say the Bible is, you know, it's the same bull, but it's like bipolar. You know, a lot of it's that way. I mean, I can be in the best mood in the world, somebody say something, and all of a sudden that blood pressure just, you know what I mean? But you learn,
ain't that the truth? Right.
You learn control, and that's your judgment. You know, your righteous judgment.
Yeah,
that's the emotional state. Yep.
No, I totally believe it's in that scripture, you know, that we do defeat AI. We have to teach Sophia to all of our thoughts that run through the ether that just keep, you know, recycling through the donut. Because like I said,
I just believe that AI is just irrelevant because it's a human propagated nonsense is what it is, because we create it. So therefore we're above it. And, you know, I just don't give it anything. You know, I know there's a factor in there, but you know, I just believe that if you give something your energy, it's going to get your energy. You know what I mean? So I don't even go there. I don't even understand why people give it their
thought that the AI that's running around right now is not new, that it's actually an ancient
that was defeated once, but back again, thanks to people.
It could be.
And it's going to take people to defeat it again.
But you guys are missing the whole spiritual aspect of everything, because that's all that matters really. It's not the physical.
We are supposed to be born with everything we need.
Right.
I don't know that there couldn't be something to hinder it, but I haven't felt any hindrance myself.
Me neither. Only myself is the only hindrance I've felt.
My own hindrances, of course, yes.
Right. That's the only thing that has kept me from my path, is the way I interact and the way I act.
It was that bad witch that melted in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Right.
Why do you act and interact the way you do?
Why do I? I don't know why I do, and I need to. I'm working on that. Hence the reason why I sit and talk with you guys, because
could that be the programming that our parents were instilled with, and their parents, and it's been passed down generationally?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, remember, there's nothing wrong with spinning anything in your head.
Right. I'm not saying there is.
Puzzle piece, put it in there, and then come back to it later, and it may never fit.
Do you think the system that's in place now is here to optimize you getting to where you need to go in this life?
No, let me put it plain and simple to you. I don't believe in any of that new age concept stuff. I don't believe in all this group event stuff. I don't believe in any of that flash stuff. I don't believe in any of that. And I don't mean believe. I mean, I just don't put any weight on any of it, because to me, it's a bunch of nonsense.
Well, what Cosmic Christie's doing is astrology, not New Age. Just
Well, she's talking the same stuff I've heard all the New Age people say.
You've heard New Agers steal the truth to mix it with their lies. Yes,
Whatever.
you have. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Whatever. I
It
just
was
Not
don't.
the
student-
same.
I don't
It
put
was-
any weight in none of that stuff. I'm not saying it's not true or it is true. I don't put any weight
Like
into it because I
everybody
don't.
steals Jerry's words, you know.
But
I don't think it's going to get me anywhere. So I don't put any weight in it. Is what I mean by that.
But you're you. But there are others
But
who
there's-
needed that information.
Yeah.
Well, everybody perceives everything different.
Yes.
Right. That's very true. And teach their own. I guess I just don't. I think it's adding confusion and
No, it just
when you start adding this or that and start talking about stuff that
how is saying that this is that and that is this and this is that and this is that when you're trying to explain one thing, not confusion?
Yeah, that word.
when you first of all, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to attack nobody. I'm just going to tell you that I don't believe it, and that's my point. And if
But she helped people tonight, and she'll help anyone else who needs that information.
I find her confusing to me because I thought she came on here saying that AI has hijacked us and we're screwed, and then all of a sudden she turned it around when she started talking about that's
well,
my
AI had, and she also started to explain how we're overcoming it, or it has already been overcome.
That's why we brought that Bible verse up about AI, how it was wrote in
Yes.
the Bible.
Right. It's in the Bible.
Because Joshua was, or Jesus in my Bible, and it was switched to Joshua.
Yep.
No, if you do look, a lot of the stuff, the real information that she's putting out there is backed up by the Bible or
Yes.
things
Was
like
wrote
that.
stars.
Where
I mean-
the New Age twisted it and put people into places like where, the real information is you still got to do the work yourself, like you're doing, and everybody
Right.
here is trying to do, Steve. You know what I mean? But
Right.
the New Age twisted this information into you don't have to do anything. Somebody's coming to save your ass. Oh yeah, and then there's going to be some kind of money reset, and you're all going to be millionaires in the process.
yeah,
Just
right.
sit on your ass and wait
no.
for it.
You'll
That's-
never
that's
hear
a-
Cosmic Christie say that stupid shit.
Yeah, I don't.
But
I
that's
don't.
the whole purpose of
think
why
she
they
did
do
that.
that, Steve, is to take the information and twist it so people are just like put off.
So
on
they
it.
won't hear people like her.
And
Right.
they just absolutely ignore it. I think
Exactly.
it's nonsense, I mean, but when you really look into it, it starts making some damn sense. Now, the whole thing with the event and the Flash, I hope it does. I hope there's a group thing going on because it would be very nice. However,
The only
I really
flash
don't
that's going
see
to
it.
happen is some supernova or something from the sun, in my opinion.
that's what they're supposed to. That's what it's supposed to be. Is
Yeah.
more supernova coming from, or something like that, gamma waves coming from the galactic sun through.
something like that, or from
through our
from
sun.
our sun.
Yeah,
You know?
well, it comes through,
Well,
and when it hits our
there's
sun,
been
it's supposed to
events,
put
there's
out
been
big gamma
ending,
waves.
there's been everything, and
And
nothing's
the
happened.
interesting thing is that would
Exactly.
totally
That's the problem I
eliminate
have with it.
any.
Okay.
Say that again. Max Vision.
Yeah. And the other guy.
I've watched for 12 years. People have set dates, said
Right.
things are going to happen, and nothing happens.
I didn't know it was 12 years. I knew the last 3 or 4 of it, and I've
I've
been
been watching for
that's
12.
that's
Well,
what's
they
been
probably-
throwing me off. But
And then also Nomad said something too, I believe.
Oh, I was just saying it would be interesting if indeed you do have some kind of a micronova, it would totally eliminate parasitic type electronics or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but
Right. The EMF of the whole situation would fry every motherboard out there.
yeah.
Yeah, when Cosmic Christie does your birth chart, she'll fry your motherboard. I'll tell you that. She fried mine. She told me I was back from the future. I was like, what? I knew it.
like I said, with that stuff, I do hope it does come true. But it's seeing, like Max said, it's seeming like some BS, not really going to happen. Not like that.
Yeah, it's got to be us. We've got to do it. If we want an event, we've got to make it.
We've definitely had some interesting earthquake activity and weird things like that.
Yeah, but
that-
for sure.
the earthquake in the
that could
Bible
be
is
positive energy. I don't know.
your own earthquake within. I mean, that's
So
what it
when you have the earthquake in your mind, it causes it in the earth.
Yeah, it's got to be on both.
Maybe.
As within, so without.
because we're manifestors.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are energetic manifestors.
That very well could be. And, you know,
I still think it seems.
I believe everything in the Bible is more of an allegory and not a literal. And that's just my opinion, because that's the only way it makes sense to me, you know.
It's a puzzle book, how to unlock the cage.
Yes.
But you're absolutely right, Steve. That's one level to it, for sure.
There's more than one level.
Well,
I think it's encoded astrotheology.
It's basically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Physics, there's physics in there. There's biology. It's all in there.
Yep.
The 9 magnetic rings.
Yep. It's all there. It's like Prego. It's in there.
But when you know, I hear other people talk about you know, the divine union and stuff, and when they tell it to me, you know, I've heard somebody brought up Sangri the other day to me, and I thought about it, and I went back and watched a couple of his videos, and he's another one that makes perfect sense to me. And he doesn't elaborate on none of the fancy stuff. He calls it all a bunch of bullshit, and he says that it doesn't matter, because you know, that's not what this ascension process is about. It's not about fighting some malevolent force but yourself within. And that's the only thing that sits well with me, and that's where I'm going to stay. You know, plain and simple.
Pretty much.
I'm not gonna allow anybody's nonsense to muddle up my works, and that's just.
She went within. She's from an original seed. She is A positive blood or A negative blood. So she went.
She didn't sound like she was ascended to me. She didn't sound like she made the divine union to me.
She went within, and she kicked ass and took names, and she was explaining what that looks like to us. And because we weren't there,
kicking ass and taking names is kicking yourself's ass and taking and getting rid of your name,
so that others can learn how to do it themselves.
Well, that's fine. I just think she's confusing me. That's my point.
Well, if she's confusing you for now, that's okay, and she's okay with that, and you know, and it's okay if it confuses you.
But I don't want to push that.
Just because it confused you today doesn't mean it will tomorrow.
I don't want to push that. That's my point. I don't want to push that sort of stuff, because I don't want to put weight on it.
You aren't pushing it. Some people may need it. Some people may not need it.
Right.
You don't have to think that you're pushing it, because you're not.
No, right.
I mean,
people may completely discount it and say that's bullshit, just like you are doing, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
Right. I guess, but I don't want to offend anybody either. But I mean, that's just my opinion.
You have to have friction in the dark, and you have to have great friction in the dark, or else.
Well, you're just very strong in your convictions, and that's fine.
Well, I'm just saying, for me, when something sits well with me, it sits well with me, and I welcome it, and I accept it. And you know, when she started talking about a cosmic dragon in the ocean and all this other stuff, that just didn't sit well with me, because it doesn't make sense to me. That's it just doesn't make sense.
The great sea monster we talk about.
Yeah, the great sea monster. Yeah.
The great sea monster is you, though.
Oh, God.
Maybe if you explained it to me like you would explain it to a 2-year-old, I might get it. But I don't understand it.
I'm still not on board with you 100%, Steve, that all this you stuff is us. That whole thing just doesn't sit well with me. It seems to me like some other power is trying to get us to take blame for everything.
Well, everything is within you, dude. You cannot point the finger anywhere.
If there's 1,000 people at a beach and a tidal wave comes in, which one of them created that son of a bitch?
But the tidal wave that we're talking about is the tidal wave of
if it's all us, I mean, we're all to blame for everything that's happened and all this other stuff. It just seems like
we're part of the
mindfuck process.
I'm not pointing a finger at anybody for anything. Is my point.
Are we not part
I'm
of the
I'm taking responsibility for
that's my point. Is that's my point? Is like that's the whole thing that doesn't sit well with me. Is that we gotta we're responsible for all this. There is no they. There's no that type of stuff doesn't sit well with me.
I think it's kind of like a teeter-totter. Whichever way the energy flows is kind of the way the whole world goes.
That's what I like. There's a 1 on each side of the 0, and there's a 2.
Eric, I'm not saying that there isn't some malevolent beings out there, or people, or some shot callers that are making the wrong decisions. I'm not saying that by any means. I'm saying that for you to be able to ascend, you got to let all of that go and just concentrate on yourself and your own. Because all of that stuff is going to be there regardless of what you believe.
But the people have known that they've been under the thumb of the governments all over this world.
You're going to be under the thumb of the government anyway.
Cosmic Christie came in to say,
there's no changing that now. How are you going to change that by knowing it? How are you going to change that by giving it energy? How are you going to change that unless you come together on a group level, like the vest thing, and do something like that? That's the only way you can change anything like that.
They won't even try to do anything like we do here on your channel. They won't even try. They've given up. Cosmic Christie came in to give them hope.
How does she give them hope? I don't understand where you're going with that, because all she did was confuse me.
Understood her.
Who understood her? I didn't understand anything she said.
I did. Eric did. Norman, I think, understood her, right, Norman?
Norman? Who's Norman?
Nomad, sorry.
It's Rodney.
I kind of got that it was like the Saturn Moon Matrix, but that's about all, It's kind of like a dad field or something, or...
I'm not saying that she's wrong either. I'm just saying that it just confused me, and I don't need any more confusion in my journey. That's my point. That's all
I still say that in reality, we all are one.
Right, and I agree with that totally. I totally agree with that. And we're all from one source, and that's our higher self, and it's that simple. It doesn't have to be confusing.
Well, that's why there's no we or them, correct? For Nuggets to, yeah, so it's not like there's, we're taking responsibility for all the bad. It's just the fact that we're energetically, it's all one, and we have to have both ends of the spectrum. We have to have the duality for the oneness.
But what if we're not all from the same one? What if there's some of us?
We are only from one,
and then some are from another one.
I think
a continuum of energy.
Wouldn't that make sense with all the bloodline stuff?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about living creatures in life. We're talking about, the pulse of the earth, the electromagnetism of the earth, our energetic electromagnetism as living creatures, with conscious minds that can ascend. I'm talking about all living life. I read that whales and elephants and dolphins individually put off even more positive electromagnetic frequency into the universe than conscious humans do.
Yes, because they're conscious of what they are and they communicate on that level.
Yeah, so regardless of whether there's multiple species of humans and this, right. I'm just throwing this out there, I feel as though it is all one. It is all electromagnetic, and all of these frequencies combine, for the universal frequency.
Yeah, so Cosmic Christie is right in a way when she says that you're giving something power and that's where I was confused, because she was telling us that we were hijacked, and then all of a sudden said that I was saying something wrong because I was saying artificial intelligence. You understand what I mean by that? That's where I got confused. I was just like, whoa, wait a minute. Why are you, that's why I was confused. That's, plain and simple. That's where I started building the wall, going, what are you talking about? Because you just...
But Joshua at the Battle of Jericho came to tear that wall down.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I understand it, there were some... In the past, there was some kind of manipulation or something happened, and that's taken us off course, and that's the they I refer to when I say they. When I understand that we're all one at the end.
I think you misunderstand me when I say that. When I say you got to get rid of the they, because that's exactly why I'm saying that, is because whenever you say they, you give that energy that you believe hijacked you even more energy by acknowledging it.
Explain hijacked. I missed some of our conversation. Sorry, guys.
It was like there was a malevolent force that took our energy and used it for nefarious purposes.
Right.
And
I
we all
like
know that to be true.
what
to
he said
church.
about we're TVs, you know, and we're all
Yeah, right.
on the wrong channels, you know, and the frequencies being out there, and our TVs need to be tuned into that
Right.
frequency. So if we are,
I don't get that. It's like I see an avalanche that happened on the news or something, and I say something about that avalanche. It doesn't mean that I just gave power to that avalanche that already happened.
No, you're misunderstanding me when I say that. I'm not saying in a literal sense.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving a literal
propagation.
example.
Think about the news, dude. What you just said. Think about the news. Why is it all negative? Really think about that.
I'm not
seriously.
I'm not worried
What
about
is the programming that they're giving
real life
you?
example is the same thing.
But what is the programming that to tell? Why is there nothing but negative shit on television?
And I've said that before. Why can't they come up? Well, nobody got arrested. Nobody died. It was a good.
Right.
It's to lower your vibration.
Right.
So it's to instill fear and to make us vibrate at a more base frequency is basically it.
And so we're scared of everything.
Right.
So we're stuck.
I understand that, but I was trying to give an example of something in real life that's saying, like, by acknowledging that something happened.
No, I don't mean it in a literal sense. I mean it in
giving energy to it. So, like, by me acknowledging or saying something that there was a they that did some kind of manipulation back in the day, by me acknowledging it and speaking on it doesn't give power to that thing that happened in the past. And
okay, now look at it this way, Eric. By you giving that thought, okay, in the past, what is it doing for you now in the future? What are you getting out of it for even mentioning it? Are you getting anything in positive for it? Are you getting
acknowledge it and learn from the mistake and not make the mistake again?
Warning. There's the warning.
I mean,
right, but how many times have you heard the day, and how many different people have you heard to say the same thing, and where has it gotten us?
Yeah,
that's my point.
Well, saying the things and implementing are two different things.
Well, but I mean, if by definition, our words, our thoughts, our actions, our beliefs is what gets us our net return.
It's not the words; it's the emotion behind the words.
Right. That's what I just said.
Only part.
Go ahead, Max.
You've got the rest of the universe to work against. Your thoughts have to work against the thoughts of the chair you're sitting in to keep its form, the carpet under your feet keeping its form. So there are all these other forms keeping their reality in check. You've got to fight against theirs to do anything to change reality.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by that is, like, if you can concentrate on something enough, like we know of the power of prayer, right?
Yeah. Right, exactly.
It can affect things, but only to a certain degree. We are somewhat limited.
Until you get a group together and thinking the same positive thought.
So you can overcome the other fields or the other energies that are maintaining their structure and their form.
That's why they try to focus.
That's what I'll call they from now on, the other energies.
Yes, that is that. That is your job, Eric.
You're such a smart ass. I don't want to buy into this whole they thing, because I believe that every time you give that your thoughts, your energy, you're just giving power away. That's my thought.
Nah, it's the emotion that goes behind it. Just speaking about
it,
like,
more intention.
As a matter of fact, type of thing is, I'm not here nor there about it. Honestly.
And to all the they, we should wish them well.
Yeah, thank you. That's my point.
Really,
that's my point right there. If you separate them from us, then therefore that's creating a dualistic nature where we're supposed to be trying to get back to the one, right?
Yeah, a house divided can stand. You're dividing yourself as soon as you
trying to become enlightened. I don't know about being one with everybody. But
but I mean, that's in essence, that's what we're trying to do, is get back to the one. Even Christy said the monad, right?
I really look outside at the world and I don't see a mass awakening happening at all.
When a person talks about sympathetic resonance,
yes,
that's how I envision this is as people ascend or aspire to ascend, they become enlightened and awakened with the truth. They have their experiences. We may or may not become like Phil, but in the process, the energetic frequency and consciousness as a whole, or partially, is rising. And then we also have what's called sympathetic resonance that occurs. So even if a small portion of the populace reaches these higher frequencies, the effect is going to be greater because there is sympathetic resonance amongst other resonant frequencies.
Yeah,
The 100th monkey.
Thank you for
100th
Bravo.
monkey.
What's that?
Exactly what I was thinking. That's what I mean by they. That's exactly what I mean by that. I don't mean that you're personally saying, you know, them and they on purpose to say. I'm just saying that once you start dividing yourself against yourself, you're just creating a divided house. That's the only reason why I say we need to get rid of the word they. That's the only reason, really.
Okay, so
the powers.
you would substitute it
Negative
with
energies or whatever.
There is no they. There is only the other powers.
The one.
Such a smart ass.
Them. It's them.
I love Eric. I really do.
What'd you say, Rainbow?
I love Eric. I really do.
I like Nugget's comments, and I appreciate hearing your questions, because I think we all have questions, whether or not they're the same as yours. It's just really nice that you are open enough to share your questions.
It's fine. It's about time you start opening up. But I mean, come on, Eric. No, I'm just kidding.
I love everybody here. We all bring something to the table, and it's amazing.
Some of us rub each other a little brashly, but I mean, that's, you know, I think that's the lessons we all need to come over
iron
with.
sharpening iron,
we rub
dude.
each other the wrong way, but we still love each other. We're proving it can be done.
Amen.
I think that's the you know, I invite the same people that I rub or butt noses or heads with, because you know, that's the lessons I need to learn majorly. You know, and that's, I appreciate every one of you guys. I love. Where did Nomad go?
Yeah.
I want to tell a story. Can I really quick, because it has to do with what Nuggets was saying, kind of.
Go for it.
Okay, so I went through a really difficult time. I lost my husband under very tragic circumstances, and so my family was upset, you know, myself and my children. And I got together with a couple of friends, and one was very into energetic healing. And I totally get all that, because I myself became severely electromagnetic field sensitive. So she was helpful. And then another woman friend was really like her protege, and she was just so into learning energetics. And she was just so into speaking the positive and not speaking the negative. And I am a positive person. So I get together with them, and they're like, well, Chris, how's it going? And it's like, basically, due to the trauma in my family, I've been isolating myself, just trying to take care of my kids. I've been alone. And so I open up to them and I say, oh my gosh, this is literally how I said it. I said, you know, it's been a nightmare, but it's getting better. I keep thinking it's getting better, but you know, it was really hard. And I had this happen and this happen. And whenever I spoke of an example, they would interrupt me. And they'd say, oh, don't say that. Like I was creating or manifesting. I wasn't manifesting. I was reporting what happened. And I'd
have told them, you asked me. If you didn't want to hear the answer, you shouldn't have asked.
Yeah, finally, I did have to say that, because it was upsetting me. It's like, you're asking me how I'm doing. I'm not complaining. I'm not, you know, I'm just saying, oh, here's an example. And then be like, oh my gosh, don't say that. That's negative. You can't say anything negative. You know, and it wasn't like I was even posing my words in a negative fashion. I'm aware of that. But it's similar to what Nuggets was saying about, he thinks we should be able to report on they. You know, it's not necessarily manifesting. And so I got frustrated with them, and I didn't understand where they were coming from. How are we to be reporters? How are we to talk about things if we can't do that? If what the topic is negative? See what I'm saying?
Well, when I was talking to Eric, though, it wasn't in that context. I was taken out of context. I was talking about the splitting of us and them is what I meant by that.
Yeah. I totally get what you were saying, and I agree. I just wanted to use that as an example, because
that's a perfect analogy, because I think that's how Eric is thinking the same thing. You know, I think he's thinking.
Eric or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I understood what you were saying because I really experienced that deeply to the point where I didn't even call them to get together again because I'm like, okay, I can't share. You ask, but I can't share, and that's
right.
Yeah. If everything, is a trap, why go, right?
yeah, you got it, Rainbow. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Been
If
there.
we don't speak on it, how is it supposed to get healed?
Yeah, I don't mean it like that, Eric.
Right.
I meant the whole fucking splitting of us and them is all I meant.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Do you understand what Sleuth is saying, Nugget?
He understands. He knows where I'm coming from, I think. Don't you?
I know we get there at a level. In the grand scheme of things, I get the all is one and we're all one. But I don't see I don't know.
He don't believe
I
it.
do and I don't. I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm still coming to terms with it. I guess.
Okay, the reason why I say I know for a fact we are all one and every energy on this planet is from the same source is the fact that story I told you about me putting my dog down and that my dog looked at me with the same look in her fucking eyes as my dad did when he died. The same look, dude, from a dog and a human. You know what I mean? The same eyes. There's no mistaking that when you know that in your heart of hearts, when you get that look, you know it, dude. And that's how I came to that conclusion. That all of us are all connected. Every energy on this planet is from the same source, one. And there is no differentiation between a goldfish energy and our energy. The only thing that makes it different is that we are aware of it. And we are aware of that awareness.
Yep.
And that in itself is what creates the creation.
It's the awareness.
It's that simple.
Yep.
It's that simple. And you can only make that union with God if you're doing right for the good of all. And you make that awareness known to yourself and you come to that truth because that's the one truth that everybody has to come to terms with. You know what I mean? What's up? Rodney's phone died. That's why he dipped.
I guess the part that I can say that I don't really necessarily agree with is like the parts where we're the ones that did this to ourselves type of crap.
Oh, yeah, maybe I was wrong when I said some of that stuff because I remember
the part of where I don't agree with that we're all
right.
Type of thing is that I don't see that we would. I can understand we could set up some obstacles to overcome to help us on the grow that we need to, but like setting up this kind of system the way it is so that we're
well we're all a part of that system
and we have no time to ever we're supposed to be so busy that we don't get the opportunity to do this type of learning, so to say. But that's the part
I totally agree with that.
Us and them. That's where I still have a separation.
Right. I may have been wrong when I said that we all do it to ourselves, but I mean, we all take part in this system. We're all part of it. I mean, so if you buy into it, you're doing it to yourself.
It's kind of
I agree we're all part of it, but I don't agree with the part that we set this up and did this to ourselves type of thing.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think it's all part of the paradox of free will.
Thank you. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if we know, therefore we take part in it still. I mean, it's not like we can't take part in it because we have to go to work. I mean, look at Phil. He's going to work as a fucking maintenance guy, dude. You know, do you think he wants to go to work and be a maintenance guy and run on a treadmill? You know, do you think, even every one of us has to go to work. You know, none of us want to do it, but it's part of the system, and we have to deal with it.
We don't want to, but we don't have the tools and resources we would need to not go to work anymore.
True.
But if you did have everything you needed in that resource, what path would you take? If you had all the riches in the world and had everything you needed, would you take the time out to meet God?
Oh, hell yeah. If I had all the money in the world that I needed, I would go back to basics and start like community farm thing or something like that.
Yeah.
So would I.
Use the money to empower other people to get their stuff going so they can get out of the rat race.
Yeah.
Here's $100,000. Get the hell out.
I just want to comment on that in the past, in ancient schools of learning, when you were going through spiritual learnings, oftentimes there was trials associated with it. People went to such extremes as to even have themselves nailed on the cross.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Do we put ourselves through trials? We do in some, certainly, at some points, for sure, ourselves. But I think there are other wills out there, if you will, who do have bad intent. I've seen some of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got to overcome them and their will of bad intent with good intent.
Right.
And I think that awareness is coming to fruition right now, and and that's due to the cosmic cycles, like Cosmic Christie was talking about. So, in that sense, and Rainbow talks about all the time. We're going to the age of Aquarius. So, bing, bada, boom. There's the big part.
Age of Aquarius under Saturn's rule. That we'll talk about.
The what? What did you say, Max?
Saturn's rule. We'll talk about later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a later video. That's
you guys' secret weapon.
You got a
Saturn weapon.
I'll make sure I tune into that.
Yes, sir.
So on me on a personal level, Max, you were talking about the days on Gemini, or my sign, my moon is in my sign or whatever.
Yeah.
And today was the very first day, and I swear to you, in 5 months that I have been able to sun gaze, and I did it in the most spectacular spot I could ever hope to have done it. And it was a very cool experience, and that's why I included the jellyfish, because the jellyfish was there with me.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful that the jellyfish was there with you.
And by the way, I was on a cold Atlantic coast, and that jellyfish was there. So what does that tell you?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It tells me it died.
No, he was alive. He was breathing.
No,
He was alive.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
You should have picked it up and put it back in the ocean, bro.
No, he was too big. I would have got stung like an MF if I would have tried to pick him up.
You just pee on yourself. That's okay.
I mean, that thing was humongous. I had to stop somebody running by. I said, "What is that thing? Is that a jelly?" I said, "You're not from around here, are you?"
How big was it?
Oh, it was huge. It's in the video.
Yeah, go watch it. It was awesome.
It was as round as a basketball.
Oh my gosh.
It was humongous.
Did it remind you of the cosmos?
Yeah.
It remind you of the cosmos? I love you, Max. Oh, man.
It reminded me of a big blob of jelly, I'll tell you that.
Big snot ball, eh?
Hey, Jerry, you would know our jellyfish common this time of year over in South Carolina coast.
I can't tell you, dude. I don't know. No, I've been stung by them.
Yeah, I've never been stung by one. Does that hurt or what?
Yeah, it hurts like hell, dude. I had a leash on, to hold the surfboard, so it hit the leash, but it still got my leg.
Ouch.
Did you know to pee on your bite to make it stop hurting? Okay.
Rainbow, you looking at chat?
No, but I probably should be.
Yeah.
Cosmic's got a message for you.
Who's got a message?
Cosmic.
We'll let you email her their information, because that way she knows your email account.
Numo Saturn.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious as to what her chart or her.
Oh, yes, I will send. I will rewatch this, and I will talk to them, and I will get their birthdays, and I will send them to you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Rainbow, I want to get you to do my chart too.
We could just put it in the chat for you now.
Well, let me make something perfectly clear to whoever is listening. I do backdoor astrology. If you want an amazing astrologer that does front door astrology, who you want is Cosmic Christie. I will do things like backdoor astrology. I will do your destiny cards. I will do tarot readings for you. I will do your Mayan chart. I will do the things that I can understand, it, which are many. But I do it not from a confusing, this planet's over here and that planet's over there and what that means for you. I just put your birthday in my program and the information that pops up is what I read to you. So
that's awesome.
That's how I'm teaching myself. I'm basically a newbie compared to a professional like Mama Maja and Cosmic Christie. So, and I only charge $25 because I'm a newbie. She charges a little bit more than that, like 100 something, but it is worth every single penny. Others charge more than her. So technically her prices are even cheap.
All I can tell you is I pay to try to learn. I don't charge. That's my point. You know,
well, I have to eat, so I have to
do none of it for a job, though. You know, so I got another job. I just come on here, and you know, I invite people to learn, and that's all I do. I don't. I'm not knocking anybody for that. I'm just saying that's, you know, I don't. You know what I mean?
Okay. Eric, you were saying something, sir?
I was just gonna say, Steve sent you a message in Zoom with my birthday. Steve would send you the same one, and then that way you could send it to her, because I'm sure if we send her emails separately, it's just gonna get piled in the stack of all the other emails she's
right.
She knows your email address.
Like Levette, she's just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
But hey, I totally appreciate Cosmic Christie coming on here. You know, and I'm not knocking anything she does because she sounds very knowledgeable and
she
knows her shit. I'm just, for me, I was just confused. So, you know, I don't want to come off like I'm knocking her or none of that. I just want everybody to realize that, you know, for me, I was confused, and I think I made that clear. So, because I'm going through life confused and trying to make sense of it all.
Can we do Witness in an Igloo in Minnesota?
Huh?
Can we do Witness in the Igloo in Minnesota since you have so much snow up there?
Steve, tell me your birthday one more again.
Witness
5/22/73.
Witness in the Igloo.
Is that going to get broken up by the feds too?
Oh, gosh.
The snow might be all gone because it's been raining there for 4 days and there's flood warnings now everywhere.
Oh, great.
Those dates are in the messenger, Cosmic Christie.
Thank you.
It's going to get bad with the melt, dude. Unless it's all fake chem snow, then it's just going to go away and there's nothing in water.
It is just fake snow because they're going to throw on winter when it's supposed to be an early spring.
You know what, Steve?
Spring isn't going to be here until it's actually spring.
I tried burning my snow and it sure melted like normal snow. I don't know about the...
Oh, you did? You did try and melt it?
Yeah, I did with a lighter and everything. Yes, I did.
Have you eaten it? Because it tastes synthetic.
No, I haven't eaten it because I'm a little smarter than that because I know our air is polluted.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy to hear the geese flying back.
Think about all the aluminum we take in besides the aluminum in our atmosphere.
It should still only taste like dirty water. It shouldn't taste synthetic. Synthetic is fake snow. That's what they do for their ski lodges. That's what they've done is they've taken their technology from ski lodges and just made it like a worldwide, thing.
Ski lodges is all it is water vapor poured in front of a fan.
No, they have fake snow too. They do fake snow, which is that shit I tasted a month ago because it didn't look real. And I was like,
it wasn't yellow, was it, Paula?
Sir, no, sir. I am not a Momo.
That's the best. That's the best snow.
Eric, that's the best snow. It probably would have tasted
what
better.
Were we talking about? We were talking about the move in the galaxy. I wanted to
interrupt for 1 second.
Huh?
Yeah.
I have symbology of the jellyfish.
Yeah, go ahead.
The jellyfish is a symbol of love. So if it appears in your life, it means that you should trust your heart and follow your own emotions. It is also a symbol of acceptance and balance. Jellyfish is ready to accept the life, and it always finds a way how to survive. The jellyfish appears in your life. It means that you should believe more in your own instincts and powers.
There you go, Steve.
Mhm.
That was a good call,
There's
man.
always a way to
That's
survive
cool.
and get out of a difficult situation. So I think that's very apropos.
Yeah,
Very
it
nice.
is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Max. That was
I'm about
awesome.
to, I'm about to
Yeah, it
rewatch that and get that part over because my wife wanted to distract me with proof of the Loch Ness monster.
Oh, Lord.
Definitive proof. They show a lake and then all of a sudden somebody puts their hand up with a pink puppet on it.
Oh.
That's pretty much what the Nessie thing's about too, I think. Yeah, if you look at all those images of Nessie, they all look a little contrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
But
That's not
so
great.
you were speaking about this cosmic move that we went from
What, Jerry?
one.
yeah, I mean, who literally remembers when they were in school and because we're all about the same age, because I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and all of a
All I
sudden
know is that if you look at the spinning wheel that from above type of imagery they give us of that the galaxy, we were in the bottom southeast corner, way out there in a limb, and now all of a sudden we're like on the northeast corner, really close to like the third row in. Like,
Weren't we on the Orion arm or something originally, or I can't remember.
Sagittarius and now-
Sagittarius to Orion, allegedly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So how are we way out there if I can look up and see the motherfucking Milky Way and we are the what? The third rock from the sun. If we're the third rock from the sun, how the fuck are we way out on the outskirts?
well, our sun was on the
Just
outskirts.
saying.
I don't think you'd notice that much of a difference in the sky. It would only be a 2 or 3 degree shift, probably.
I just read an article that says it takes us 250 million years for our sun to go the circuit around the Milky Way.
Wow.
If they say, I've come under the understanding that they say millions, they mean thousands of kilometers. If they say billions, they mean
Probably.
Yes, I agree with you, Eric. I
That's
do.
in God's measurements.
I mean, the moon was how far away for how long, and now all of a sudden it's inside our atmosphere, but our atmosphere only expanded by like 100 kilometers.
Yeah, the next thing you know, the sun will be rolling around on the ground like those 1500s.
Mhm.
I love it. I love this group.
That's the start.
my audio busted up right when we started talking.
What the heck is Lambert? That's some information nobody needs to know. If you have that kind of info, just
I can't see it.
he says the jellyfish has a moving anus. While that may be true, I don't really see the need for that knowledge.
No, yeah. Useless knowledge. Yeah. I think they were doing it to be funny, though. And in that, it is comical and therefore somewhat useful for laughter because laughter heals.
I got a giggle out of it.
Yes, I did too.
What are you guys talking about?
Stinkers.
I didn't hear anything you guys were talking about.
Oh, we're talking about the comment that Lambert had. Lambeth. I can't really see my text.
Is it GT?
Yeah, GT.
Yeah. That's the one that gave us that video that are we third eye or whatever.
For some reason, my just keeps cutting out on you guys.
Oh, no. You were doing so well.
I know.
Back to the bathroom with you, sir.
Back to the bathroom with you, sir. I am supposed to go live with Sunshine on. I have no idea if it's too late for her now. I think I'm going to go to live chat real quick and find out.
What do you drink?
She's still in chat, so.
Yeah, she is.
Zoom in on that, whoever's sharing. There we go. Well, now it's there.
I wanted to get to the last part of this that we were talking about the other day. We were on this one, 87. Wretched is the body that is dependent upon a body, and wretched is the soul that is dependent on these two.
If that's too hard to read it, dude, make it so you can read it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Probably not.
It's interesting that goes along with the Toth stuff.
Did we lose Steve?
I think we're losing him. Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's walking around somewhere trying to get
I
better signal.
can't. As soon as I start talking, you.
Ah.
What did you say?
Go sit on the John so we can hear you. Hover over water.
I think was it Jerry? So I was saying that how this stuff we're reading off of this page matches up with the Emerald tablets.
Yeah, he was trying to, but I think he's having technical difficulties too. Oh, great. Now my battery trying to croak.
There, now I can hear you guys. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys gotta stop using
Okay,
this
I had to shut my. Now I'm on my network, so. And it says I'm strong, so. So
Sound
what was
good
it?
now.
Okay, here we go. Right here. All right. Now, what was I on 87? One more. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, what does this mean to you guys when it's said right here? Wretched is the body that is dependent upon the body, and wretched is the soul that is dependent on these two. The number two.
We went over this last time, didn't we?
Yeah, but I don't think we finished it. We didn't really get to
something
the.
about it was dependent on the number two.
Huh?
What did you say, Steve, about the number two?
I said that it says these two, you know, as in the number two, not TOO, TWO.
No, yes, the number two that Cosmic Christie was talking about. Yes.
No. It doesn't mean that. It means dependent on these two.
On the body and the spirit.
Okay, but two
Yes.
is still two.
Right.
Yeah, but that. And wretched is the soul. Jesus said, wretched is the body that is dependent upon a body, and wretched is the soul that is dependent upon or on these two. What does that mean?
Steve, doesn't that mirror the Emerald tablets?
As in what? What do you mean?
I think there's a line.
Pretty much thought says that the soul is everything and the body is nothing.
Yeah,
and that's my point I'm trying to make, is that the body, the physical sense is nothing. Everything that we see and hear in the physical sense has to be just discarded with the bathwater, because it doesn't mean anything. What matters is what we take away from the spiritual aspect of everything we learn. You know what I mean by that? I mean, like we were talking about earlier about the emotion and how we deal with situations and how we put forth our intent and how we interact with people. The spiritual sense of that is are we interacting in the right way or right form? And that's my biggest lesson I need to come away with and learn, is that, the way I come off to people is probably worth more than the way, you know what I mean by that? I should like Jerry was saying earlier, that, you have to be righteous in a sense, and just discard the whole five senses nonsense of what our existence is. And that's the point I wanted to make about, because I think everybody is drawn into the senses of life because that's all we know. and we need to get over that, in my opinion, and me especially. So I'm just bringing that to light, that what we sense, feel, taste, eat, hear, whatever, what we feel, it really needs to be transmuted into a spiritual sense, because that's the only thing that really matters in the end, is our soul and our spirit. So is that what you guys get out of that verse right there? Do you understand what I'm getting at there?
Yeah. I wish I could see the whole thing.
Yeah, me too.
Read you something that I found, because it perplexed me when it said, what is it? Wretched is the soul that depends on these two.
Yeah, read it again.
Okay. Yeah, read it again. And then I've got something here that I found, which may or may not be helpful.
Jesus said, wretched is the body that is dependent upon a body, and wretched is the soul that is dependent on these two.
Okay, so wretched is the body, like say my own body that is dependent on my own body, but also wretched is a body that is dependent on another body.
Yes, that's what it says, is another body, a body.
Yeah, and I just Googled it, and I have from, let's see, this is from, I don't even know where, I just pulled it up, ocoy.org, whatever that is, and it says doubly wretched, and it's talking about this, and I'm scrolling down. It says, this verse is absolutely an insistence on the single celibate life. So that kind of surprised me. So I read on. In India, Jesus had learned the ideal of kaivalya, the need for absolute solitary independence in life, if liberation, often called kaivalya, mukti, was to be attained. So maybe some of you know these words. I'm assuming that's some kind of enlightenment term.
Yeah, Kabbalah. Kabbalah is another reference to the Kabbalion, right? The Hermetic teaching.
Hermetic principles, isn't it?
Okay, so reading on, it says in Buddhism, especially Theravada, it is said that the human being suffers from being bound to the 5 skandhas and barely manages to attain nirvana. If you marry, then you are bound to 10 skandhas and their 5 and their spouse's 5. When a child is born, then they are bound to 15 skandhas. And so it goes as more children are born. So therefore, the expression for monastic life is often homeless, gone forth, or left home. And you guys know what the skandhas are, or should I tell you?
They're senses.
They're what?
The senses.
Yeah, on this page that I pulled up, we've got 5 circles in the shape of a pentagram. We've got form, feeling, volition, consciousness, and perception. So when we have relationships, I guess we're bound to the 5-part component of other people's skandhas, and that busies us and prevents us from pursuing enlightenment, let alone achieving it.
Right. Very good. That's very good. That's even better than what I was trying to come across with. Yes.
Oh, good.
So that's self-defeating in the monistic or monism that we are so aptly what we're trying to achieve is monism or monistic thinking, meaning that we're trying to get to the one, and it's almost impossible when you're married and got 4 kids, is what you're saying?
Yeah, we have responsibilities and we're obligated to these people, and we share all of those 5 things that I just described, every being that enters our life, really. And so it inhibits our ability to really focus on, attaining enlightenment. And
because you care about not only your senses, but everybody else's around you.
Exactly.
Very good. That was awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome. And that it multiplies exactly the point I was trying to get across right there. Is the only way we're going to get anywhere is by, ourselves and, the union with God. And, people want to knock God and the word God and this and that. And, to me, I was doing it and, I was wrong for doing it, because I grew up in a Lutheran I was brought up as a Lutheran, and then all of a sudden I got onto this new alternative news thing, you know, this whole YouTube thing, and then all of a sudden Bible bashing was the way to go, and you know, that's where I was at, and I was thinking it was just a control structure, and that's one of the biggest hurdles I had to get over. And then when I realized it just went full circle, and you know, because it was like, wow, you know, and
the distinction between religion and spirituality and godliness.
Right. And that's where what I'm trying to get through is that, you know, I think when we put the physical nature of ourselves in the mix of spirituality attainment, or, you know, trying to attain, as it were, you know, oneness, that I think putting our physical senses in the way is just not, we're not going to achieve anything by doing that. And especially if, I know exactly what that means, of what you just read, Chris, because, you know, who tries to ignore their kids' feelings? Nobody.
Right.
Nobody. You know, and that's
functioning on Earth really is detrimental to attaining enlightenment, because we are called upon to, you know, we're social people, and we are supposed to exhibit and give unconditional love. And, you know, we're here with one another to try to ease each other's lives or make our paths better, whatever, to help share our knowledge and wisdom with others. To me, it's very confusing at this point now that we're talking about it, because on one hand, we need to be monastic, or however you say it, monistic, as in monastery. We have to be, you know, very isolated and focused on ourselves. But yet, to me, that is very conversant and direct opposition to being Christ-like and exhibiting unconditional love for others.
But the point is that once you build that pyramid, and the tip of that pyramid tells you that the actual achievement of the understanding that all is one, then it's all monistic. Even when you're say ad hocing to someone else's feelings, or you know, unconditional love, like you were just stating. Think about that. We're all one.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for helping me resolve that in my mind. That was perfect.
That's what the capping of the pyramid's about. That's what the all-seeing eye at the top of the pyramid's about. That's what the spiritual attainment we all seek is about, I think.
Got it.
So does that mean that all the spheres would unite?
Yes. The two MasterCard symbols will come together. Yes.
The Iron Man.
Yes, exactly. That's what it's all about, I think. And
they work together, and the symbol is the process of them separating.
I think the Vesica Pisces, like Jerry Runk so aptly states, is, you know, we are stuck in the middle with each other, and then when we're all one in that center, that brings the two back together. You know, and it makes it a whole again.
For us all to come back together as one, on the same page.
Right, but I mean, you can only do that on an individual basis, though, by understanding that all is one isn't gonna force somebody else to understand that either, though. You know.
No, we have to wait until everyone else is ready. But until then, we make these videos.
Right. I mean,
it's changing what we're doing right here.
Yes, I hope so. I sure hope so. And even when we ruffle each other's feathers, and we can come together and still understand that we're all doing this for each other and for ourselves, then that's all that matters to me. So
the darkness bursts forth from the light. So, oh, how great must that darkness have to be in order for the light to burst forth from it?
I recall some kind of quote from the Bible, something about along the lines that I'm not a Bible thumper, so don't quote. I'm not saying exactly, but something to the lines of "How long must I suffer you?"
Yeah, yes, Christ did.
I think you've been reading too many of Miles' comments, dude. No,
it's in the Bible, Christ.
I know.
People came to him and they're like, we can't heal the people. Will you go heal them? And he's like, how long must I suffer you motards? Basically. He was like, do it yourself. Why are you coming to me? It's like when they asked him, his mother asked him to turn water into wine. He was like, woman, why do you involve me?
right. That's exactly how it's stated too in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of, not on the boat.
That's the first thing that came to my mind when she said that we have to wait for everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think we don't have to wait for him, but if you become one with your higher self, God, then you have no choice but to try to help. You know,
right.
I think us that haven't ascended yet are all trying to help each other understand what the oneness is about, and that's why I get a little ruffled when I get confused, because I don't think it's that confusing. I really don't. I think it's pretty simple, straightforward stuff that we all know inherently, that we need to just love each other, understand that we're all going to be different because that's the way we are bred to be. But we have to understand that we're all one regardless.
Yeah, the first thing that we are forced to work on in our lives, the very first lesson is patience, always. For that reason. So if you don't have patience, then you're going to be impatient, like Honest Eric. Waiting for the rest to come in, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And what did you say the other day, Jerry, about the one who is eagerly waiting for it to happen, and just remember what you were talking about?
Yeah, it was
made so much sense. I was like if you're pulling at the straws, are the straws really going to fall for you in the right way? Or, I mean, you know what I mean? What did you say, Jerry? Do you remember?
No, I remember we was talking about the thief in the night.
Yeah, there you go. State what you said there.
Well, I was talking about Santa, you know what I mean? Because it comes from the North Pole. You can't, if you're awake, you won't come.
Yeah,
Same like
it's just like
Jesus, the robber. If Jesus came thief in the night and you was waiting on him.
And Eric, remember when they were talking about Nibiru? It's going to come like a thief in the night. Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, man. It's the same story. It's just like Santa Claus. You better not, you better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is coming.
Everything's for a reason.
I always thought that was Enki.
Yes, everything.
But Enki is you, though, brother. Enki is us.
It's the shoe's your soul. That's what the golden slipper.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, don't make me
Cinderella slipper. Don't slop your dripper right.
Isn't there the Grand Cross in the sky there? Isn't that the Grand Cross? The cross? The crossing?
What?
What's that?
The eclipse?
The Grand Cross.
Yeah.
Right?
That's actually,
as far as I knew.
What are you talking about?
It's another level of it, because you're saying that the crossing is Nibiru, but there's also
the crossing is the Nibiru is another way to say Noah's flood. Noah's flood is may have happened in a literal sense, but it's talking about the flood of enlightenment coming over you, taking over your chakras.
What?
That's what Noah's flood is, and you're in essence is talking about the enlightenment, dude.
Yeah, I could see that. Yep.
That's what it is. It's the flood, the earthquake, all that shit. It's all the same.
Fire,
the sun or God.
And you have to realize that fire is water in a holy sense, in a spiritual sense.
That's our symbol.
So why didn't they just come right out and say, hey, you need to line all this crap up?
Well, because if you seek, you will find. It never says anywhere everything will be handed to you unless you seek and you find. And then all things will be added unto you, but not before that.
Right. It's the same reason why fishing is called fishing and not catching.
Yeah,
Right.
you got
That's why it's
your
called
hands-
fishing, not catching. Right.
So we can't be lazy asses.
It's
Right.
exactly it.
Well, it says you got to put your hands forth.
Yep.
Yes.
You used to have the mystery schools you went to, so you went for training there.
Yep.
And
For
what
5
about,
or 10,
like-
for 5 or 10 years of your pre-adult life, and it culminated what age? 13.
Yeah.
Huh.
Gosh,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
late.
what about like for physically handicapped people and stuff like that? I always worried about that, or family members that are just so, you try to explain this to them and they're going to just tell you you're batshit crazy.
That means that they're just going to return and maybe get it next time, because maybe they'll have some residual memory of you trying to explain it to them in the previous, or maybe they'll have the number 333 pop up in their life over and over again, like me, or something
Right.
like that.
Monkey will get them.
So don't
Right.
worry.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
worry
no,
about
don't
that,
worry,
because
no.
you have to understand that energy is never going to go away, bro. I mean, every one of these souls that are our kids and our family members that we love are going to be there in the end anyway. I mean, even if we all die together, they're all going to be recycled back here until they make that union, because I believe that's the only way you're going to be able to choose where you go is after you make the coupling with God.
The only thing worrying accomplishes is gray hairs and wrinkles.
Mhm.
Well,
Right.
and heart attacks and
Heart
strokes,
attack.
things like
Yep.
that.
Can I mention something or ask something of you guys related to suffering and somewhat related to the passage that we just read?
Okay.
Yes.
So I wanted to express this before. I'm sorry when it was more timely with the conversation, but the conversation runs, and that's a good.
Yes, it's okay.
At one point in my life, it was so distinct. Here's my perplexity. When you achieve that oneness, let's just use Phil for an example, okay? That supreme enlightenment and the oneness, and yet, like you mentioned, Steve, he goes to work and he does his janitorial job and he functions on Earth because he has to. But how is he able to carry that oneness state while he's functioning on such base levels of survival? Now, along with that, I want to share something with you guys. I had suffering, and that was during my electrosensitivity, which was quite severe. I figured it out. I'm good. But at that time, there was a great deal of suffering. And I work with people in a healthcare capacity. I'm a therapist and a speech therapist specifically. And I will never forget, there was this one particular day. And as I sat with my patients directly across from me, I had this distinct, overwhelming, it was just crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, where's this coming from? But I identified with that. It wasn't like I identified with the patient so much that I felt like I was them. I literally had the recognition and the spiritual awareness that I was them and they were me. Okay. So I know what that's like. It's absolutely incredible, but it doesn't last. Why didn't it last? And does it last with Phil, or is this a state that he's able to go in and out of? And then the other thing I want to say is I really think suffering and the understanding of the human condition is very intrinsic, and compassion is also part of it, extreme compassion, in order to attain that state. I think those are essential. But how does he get in and out of it, or is he always in it?
I believe he's always in it. Because I've picked his brain on that very topic, and I think it has to do with he just knows how he puts it succinctly, that everything is one, all is well, and all is as it should be.
Yes, I love how you phrase that.
And that's how he answered it every time I've asked him, and I've asked him 13 different ways, and no bullshit. I've asked him different ways at that very same question, and that's how he's answered me every time.
Did you?
I want you to repeat that, please. Everybody, repeat it.
He says that all is well, and all is as it should be, and all is good, because you're right where you need to be, and and that's where I was blown away when he said it to me, because I'm like, who am I to have you talking to me when I really believe, honestly, in my life, he's the only one I've come across that's ever achieved that state of awareness, you know. And I know it in my heart of hearts because I just know it. I don't know how to explain it, and that's where I want to be.
Yep. It super resonates with me. And I'm not one to talk about dreams, but I had a crazy dream. In the dream, I died. And I was going to the light and I loved it and it felt good. But all of a sudden I felt guilty because I had kids. And I said, wait, don't I need to go back for my kids? And the message was exactly what you just said.
Yes.
And everything is as it should be. And then an epiphany in my dream, I realized, oh, this is part of the life path of my kids. They're going to go through it and everything's fine and everything is as it should be. I woke up and I was fine. And in my dream, my kids were certain ages, well in advance of their age. And at those exact ages is when my husband died.
Yes. Yes. I just got goosebumps and I feel like crying right now because I had the very same dream. The very same dream.
Oh my God.
Right before my dad died. Right before my dad died.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Can I share that? Or maybe you've shared it and you don't want to.
You had a dream that he was going to?
No, that I was going to depart, and you know, I've died and came back before, and I didn't know that I did at the time because I blocked it out, and that's when I started remembering it and started coming back to me that it was a near-death experience instead of waking up on the operating table.
Oh.
Yes, that's how I realized it. And it took me even 10 years after my dad died for me to realize it was a near-death experience. But that's exactly what I experienced.
Incredible.
And that's why I talk Phil up the way I do, is because I know he's telling me the truth.
Yeah.
I just know it. In my heart of hearts, I know it. You know, I just know it. And when I hear people muddling up things and confusion and all that, it just hurts me because it doesn't need to be that way. It's simple. It's simple. It's plain and simple, straightforward. All we need to do is pay it forward, love each other. And it sounds cliche, but that's the honest to God truth. That's all you need to do, and understand how it all works, because that's what I was lacking. I understand how it works now, but I need to work on treating people better. And that's where my flaws lie. And from my driving in this trip I'm on, that's my biggest thing, is I'm driving like a fucking madman, you know, and getting pissed because people are in my way.
And you go on vacation.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Relax.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
And if not for this conversation, and if I don't change that behavior tomorrow, then who am I?
Stroke.
Then who am I? No, seriously, who am I to even talk about any of this to anybody? If I can't change myself, I mean, who am I? But that's what we're doing here is trying to learn our own faults, and that's why I appreciate every one of you people. You know,
change begins with awareness, and you are in the process of change right now by being aware, as are we all.
Yes, beautiful. And I love every one of you, and I mean that with all my heart. Even you, Eric, you smart ass, and you brash ass motherfucker, Paula. And you know what I mean? I really do. I really care about all of you guys, in the sense that I believe you guys are my brothers and sisters, and because we are.
I wouldn't be where I'm at if it weren't for y'all. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I appreciate you. So
Christy, just call me the interrupter. Christy, did you literally see yourself in that person, like a reflection of you?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a dream. Is that what you're referring to? Or you're talking about?
He's talking about when you were sitting there across from your patients.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was really weird. It was just an all-encompassing, it was definitely a spiritual sensation and a conscious recognition. And I was them.
Wow.
And they were me.
Tell that story about when you and your dad in that picture.
Oh yeah, I could do that too. I do that too. I just want to elaborate on this a little bit. It was that it didn't last, but it was just a beautiful awareness that I literally knew. It wasn't something I was even thinking about, you guys. It just came upon me. But of course, I had been suffering. And so,
and you were at your lowest. You were at your lowest, right?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but I was intimately familiar with this kind of suffering that I had that nobody believed back then, because it was this elusive EMF sensitivity. And I knew it wasn't a progressive disease. I was working on correcting it, and indeed I did. But it was really a lonely thing because nobody else had it. If you went to the doctors, they told you were crazy, but you knew you weren't. So it was very lonely, and it did call to my mind Jesus Christ, because look how he suffered and how alone he was. Okay. So I wasn't saying like I was like Jesus, but that was my state. And so as this patient sat across from me, I mean, I was capable of tremendous compassion. And this person was suffering. They had had a stroke. And in them, I recognized the pain and the loneliness of their suffering and their human condition. It was just something that came upon me all at once. And I recognized that we were the same. And it wasn't depressing, like, oh, yeah, we're both suffering losers. Right. It was just, we are we are one in the human condition. And it was really a cool, beautiful, happy thing.
Yes. Wow. Just one of those upwelling of just wonderful feeling inside you, right? I mean, it was...
The connection was amazing. At that point, I realized that I was everybody and everybody was me, but it didn't last. So well, I'm left with knowing that, but I'm not left with feeling that all the time. And maybe if we felt that way, we'd be functional.
I think that's what we're all trying to achieve.
Yeah, but I'm wondering.
I used to have these really weird dreams when I was little that I was literally creating the people around me. I don't even know how to explain it to you, but every once in a while, I don't even know how to explain it. Just like I thought to myself, am I creating this person I'm talking to? Or am I creating my wife or my friend? Or, you know what I mean? It was just some kind of a weird, maybe it was an energetic thing. I'm not sure. Freaked me out.
I think it's super cool because in a sense,
it's pretty deep.
Our expectations of people, it does create our relationships, and our expectations of people does impact how they behave.
Right.
Yes. It's like that's why do you think I always use myself as the example with me and my husband?
What was that?
Why do you think I always use the example in my life between me and my husband? For the same reason, because we didn't start having marriage problems until I started judging him, which meant I was creating that situation.
Exactly.
Tell everybody how long ago this revelation came about, Paula.
Recently. And I've been with him for like 12 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And I found that very, very, very timely and very beautiful, actually, because I've gone through pretty much the same thing in my relationship.
I'm
happy to be the example. Yes.
It's the same kind of thing when you reevaluate things and you look back at things, you're like, wow, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
And it can turn out to be beautiful, and sometimes it can't. But I mean, it just depends on how you deal with it, right? And Rodney, that's pretty deep, bro. And you know what? That's probably why you're talking to us, because I think we've all had sort of intrinsic or instinctual experiences like that, because that sounds to me like that's pretty profound, actually.
Yeah.
As a young kid to think like that, that's pretty freaking crazy.
Yeah. I think crazy too. Nuggets.
I've always been told that I was a deep thinker, and sometimes many people that I am around, it's just not there. I don't know how to explain it.
A lot of people don't even want to think like that because they're afraid that it's unattainable or just nonsense, because that's what we're taught.
Well, he thinks so deep that many will drown in his waters.
Very good.
Blah, blah, blah. However, the good news is they'll be baptized at the same time.
Well, at one point in time, I had a kind of a vision, and it was almost like looking at a television screen, and everybody kind of went into the one thing at once. It was really, really weird.
What do you mean the one thing at once?
Like kind of into the screen. Like imagine television. Imagine a curtain. Imagine I take a towel or a blanket and I hold it up, kind of in the shape of a pyramid, but everybody's going into one central point. That was the vision I saw. Yeah.
It sounds to me like that's what we're all after.
Yeah.
But it was freaky.
Oh yeah.
I think Christina wants to say something. She keeps getting cut off. Sorry.
Oh no, maybe I do.
Sorry,
I don't.
Christina.
I don't know if I was even saying anything. I was just commenting on you guys.
Okay,
So I said that's the Matrix.
Yes, very well. What do you got to add to that, Eric?
Eric. What you talking about, Willis?
Are you still there, Eric?
Yeah. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
You had an experience like that. You had a weird experience like that too, didn't you?
I wasn't paying much attention to the ongoing convo. Sorry.
Oh, you son of a...
He was probably paying attention to live chat or.
You got like just cultivate what you know that he talked about.
Do you have any experience of oneness?
Yeah.
Can you
of oneness? Like, well, I mean, I think so. I can't like recall right now off the top of my head anything that like sticks out. So maybe not.
But I think it's what he's striving for. I think it's what he wants, but he hasn't had that yet. And I have felt that with Sunshine on, my husband, my mother, my sisters, my daughter, and many other people that it was Clash of the Titans with me. I have seen them as one with me. Yes. That
For
one.
the longest time, I really didn't like people at all. So I put up this biggest wall around me, to be honest. So that's
why.
Broken, but just saw the way it was going, and I was just like, this isn't where I belong. These people just, just I can understand why there's a cataclysm every now and then to wipe things out, and I can perfectly see why it's viable.
It's like shaking up the board, right? Shaking up the Etch-a-Sketch.
Right.
I've had many experiences of oneness I could talk about.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
It came about 2 years ago, a year ago. I was in study, and I had the thought, if we just stripped away everything that a person has done in their life, and what is left is pure spirit.
Yes.
Okay. And as I said before, in my opinion, the only true form of thought is intuition. So these people are not acting with their intuition. They're acting with their trained brain.
What they've been indoctrinated with, right?
Yes. So if you can look at them that way, they're pure. Everyone is pure.
Very good, man. That's very good.
A life that they stack up all these things that we label as bad.
Yep.
And that feeling, if you can get that through your head, you can get that feeling often.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. That's a way to muddle through the muck.
Do you think it's that we value our independence even though we're not really independent? You know what I mean? Our self-identities, or people call them ego.
The individuality part of ourselves is what gets in our way. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what he means, isn't it, Max?
Yeah, it is in your way, but we still, even as a spirit, we kind of view ourselves separately too. We still have to get past that. But just getting to view people as spirit is, I think, the first step. Getting rid of, to rid the body part, just ignore that and look at the spirit.
Wow, it's kind of funny how we go right back to that verse that we were just bringing up, that 87.
Well, that's why you don't take the mark of the beast.
Wow, very pertinent. That was awesome. Yeah. You got anything to add to that, Max?
I didn't hear that.
Say it again. Say it again, Jerry.
I say that's where you don't take the mark of the beast.
Right.
Your flesh side.
Yeah.
Right. He who seeks to save his life will lose it.
Or put stock in the physical.
Yeah. I think it's more putting stock in it, because you're going to have a balance between the spiritual and the physical to achieve enlightenment. And at some point, you'll shed the physical.
Yes, and I think that's exactly where, to answer Christine's question about you always feel that, I think that's what he's achieved, is he realizes that the physical is nothing, and the mind and spirit is everything. Mind, body, and heart is, and soul are all one in this realm. But
even though I'm plugged into the wall and it's on, it threw me into restart. I'm gonna have to go back in
because it's so fleeting.
Yes, because this vessel we're in is only here for us to achieve the oneness with ourselves, with God.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why we're here in this physical sense, and everybody wants to muddle it up and add money to it and add kids and marriage and relationships, and that's all good because it's part of the learning experience. But I think we're here essentially just to become one with ourselves again. And that's the monad.
And what's after that? What do you
do you think we just spin back out like a yo-yo or something?
What's the purpose of us coming through all this to learn this stuff, remerge, just to do what?
To become a cosmic gardener, to move on to higher realms, to maybe become a planet. I don't know, but I know you still exist, and you exist in the effulgence of the all.
I believe in levels of enlightenment, so I think I'll achieve a level of enlightenment here, move on, and work on the next level.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. So that's my logic on that, is that this whole thing about we're here to come in and do this and remerge with God. I understand. I get that that's part of it, but to me, that's like we're looking at the end of the line. That's the end goal, but we're skipping out on 13 steps in between that.
Well, there's levels to everything. You probably have to make oneness with the next level. Who knows? But we only know this level, and
consciousness is ever expanding.
That's why I say this is a school, and we're going up in grades, just like how we do and down here in our education system. We go through grades. Maybe the final graduation of college, or so to say, if we say on that level, would be the remerging back together with Source and God. But there's a whole bunch of schools in between that we gotta go through. It's not like you can't go from kindergarten to graduation to college. You know what I'm saying? Is what it seems to me like the people are trying to portray that message as.
I've never done DMT, but here's another DMT story that I just watched, and it was a professor, Indian professor, like tribal Indian professor, that was doing intravenous DMT. And he described.
I said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, he was describing though, basically his like his self stripping off layers all the way back, and he went into what was the creator, and he was a specific part in this creator, like the big whatever. He said whatever he went to was huge, and he said it was very scary, but that he knew his place in it all, that his part of the puzzle was extremely important. But he described a realm where the beings were literally made of light, the buildings were made of light, and the doorways, everything, the entire realm was light. He said they had building materials like we have bricks and mortar, but there it was light.
Yes.
And he said that the beings, because they were so far advanced, it was extremely difficult for them to communicate, and that they took his body and put him on a table and were trying to fix him. Like he interpreted it as they were trying to fix his condition. You know what I mean? Kind of like a hospital. So I don't know.
Reconnect
because they couldn't understand him.
Right, because they were just so far advanced and we're so far down the ladder.
Well, I've told you I had those dreams when I was a little kid about light and geometric shapes and stuff, and right there, that story you just told me kind of hits home, because there were things that I dreamt about that I couldn't even explain. I didn't put people or beings to it or anything, but it felt like I was whole. You know what I mean? It was just weird, but it scared the shit out of me.
He said that he was very clumsy in their realm, that he was trying to walk through windows instead of doors and bouncing into walls and things like that. And there was just such a communication gap that the communication was almost impossible.
Has anybody ever had those helpless feeling dreams, like you're trying to maybe push things away, or like you have no power? You know what I mean? Like you felt like you're helpless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I was a little kid. Every time I had those dreams until I was about 7, and then they went away.
Sleep paralysis.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Like you go to hit somebody and they'd like look at you and laugh at you, trying to push people away or something, or things or whatever. But yeah, I used to have light dreams like that, and I couldn't explain them. It was colors, lights, and it was just weird, man. And no stuff in my whole life.
I'll try to find that video. There's a larger one, like 15 or 20 minutes, and then this section of it is like an 8 or 9 minute one. I think his name is Domingo or Patricio Domingo, something in that. If you get close, you should get it. Just put in high dose DMT.
Cool.
Domingo.
Yeah, I used to do LSD all the time when I was younger, and then once I gave mouth to mouth to a roofer that fell in front. It fell in our. It was right before Christmas, and he fell and he smashed his head on the only block stoop that was in the building. And his supervisor was yelling, anybody know CPR? And I went to his aid and I went to help him, and I had to block out all his nastiness. And I did shrooms like right after that. And all I could think about was that guy's last breath in my face and his eyeballs and stuff. And I puked for like 12 hours. But yeah, I want to try DMT, but I'm afraid that's what's going to happen to me.
Right.
You make your own.
Yes, that's what I exactly. But I think when you go through things like that, it's what sticks in your mind, that, because for some reason that came up, and it was like 2 years later, but I mean, it still came up.
What'd she say? I couldn't hear her.
You make your own reality when you're on LSD.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying your body physically makes its own DMT.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I thought you were going to say that you make your own reality when you're doing acid.
Well, if I can get the external stuff, I would eat it up like a hot biscuit.
Does anybody else think that might be a little bit detrimental to your psyche? Because, I mean, does it inhibit your body at all from making it after you take it so many times? I think I asked this before.
I wondered that.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean,
Graham Hancock does it all the time. I know that.
I haven't read about any detrimental effects from it, taking DMT or ayahuasca, other than the puking.
Is that the same stuff that's in peyote?
I'm not sure, but it's probably similar.
Hello.
Did I just hear someone say they'd like MK Ultra?
What?
I thought I heard somebody say I like MK Ultra.
All I remember about peyote is that what's that? Young Guns. Did anybody see that chicken?
Yeah, the size of that chicken.
We're in the spirit world, asshole. That was a sweet movie. I just had to bring that up.
And yes, Brandon, I believe that all of the psychedelics open us up to the world that's beyond the veil normally.
Yes, I believe so. But some do in a superficial manner, and some do in a little leprechaun manner. I never seen leprechauns and stuff, but I seen trails. That's about it.
I used to love doing LSD until I had this one idiot guy come over to the house, and he was like, just broke up with his girlfriend.
Oh no!
Totally ruined everything. Next thing I know, I'm seeing like there was like snow on the ground, and what the snow mountain looked like, I was picturing him being run over by all these cars. I was like, I need to get out of here before my trip gets ruined. And I went out for like a walk. It was the middle of January. It's snowing outside.
Well, that could be dangerous.
I fell and slipped on some ice and hit my head pretty hard, and I don't remember a damn bit of it. My buddy showed me the towels of blood the next day, but I don't remember any of it.
That's why it can be dangerous. Yep.
Do you ever wonder how it is that the tribes were like walking through the woods and they're like, oh, if we just take that bark and boil it with another.
Shit. I did wonder that.
So they had to have been taught that. There's no way they just stumbled upon. It's like all of a sudden having the ingredients to make a perfect chocolate cake walking through the desert.
You to think about things back in the day or whatever. I don't know when Egypt was or whatever it was in Atlantis, but it seems to me very, very evident that we went from a time of being very smart and knowledgeable, and now look at what we degraded to now. Look at where society's at. I'm just saying.
Yep.
No, I agree.
Take forever, look. Come on.
Yeah, there could be some truth to that. I won't discount that.
Like
in essence, I think the Atlantean story is another story about ascension. If you really break the story down, it's two cities, it's two lobes of the brain, it's 12, and I mean all of the numbers add up to the same thing. It's just another story of ascension.
Which is so weird that then you have the 12 months, the 12 constellations, the 12, or
So therefore, everything in our reality is just made for us to ascend.
Paula is back. Let me see here.
Right. If you start thinking about all of these stories, the three bad, the three little pigs, the three blind mice, all of it. I mean, every little allegory story you can think of, you think about it, really think about it, and it can lead you right back to the same source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how it all works that way.
I think because
the logos in our society, in our merchandise, everything. It's crazy.
Do you just think that it was so hard? Either the knowledge was hogged, or because it must have been apparent at one point in time. We must have been taught that in our.
Well, yeah, I think that's what all of the mystery schools were founded upon. Was this knowledge was being taught and retaught, and then something happened.
The other powers.
It could have been some malevolent force that wanted to hog it, and for me, when the one person I believe to have made it say that it was Akhenaten in his bloodline, that could very well be the Rothschilds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because he's the only one I've ever heard him speak ill will about, and it's kind of funny that he's the only one that was trying to throw away all of the Egyptian gods and all that other stuff for monotheism too. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Can anybody hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you now.
I actually made it in. Joy and rapture. Thank you, Eric.
Sorry, I can't because I'm on my phone.
No, that's okay. My friggin' tablet died anyway, guys, so I'm in my room now.
All right, guys, but I'm gonna go in here and go to bed so I can get up and drive some more.
Right.
I appreciate
Hold on. 1 second before we go, I wanted to play an outro video for everybody. I gotta redo the share so everybody can hear. But give me 1 second.
Awesome.
Copyright. This video won't get taken down, right?
It's mine.
No, I took the video down because of all of the nonsense I caused that night, and it needed to be shortened. And I'm trying to edit it when I get home.
Well.
Oh, you mean the 5-hour one?
I can't. The 5-hour one.
Because I really want to re-eat that.
Yes, I'm gonna take the nonsense out and put the video back up.
And people like Casey James are waiting to eat it the first time.
Yeah, and I apologize for taking it down, but I figured there was way too much nonsense, and it was 5 hours. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this. Hopefully,
you lose people in it.
well, I kind of lost myself that night too. So I apologize again for that, Eric.
oh, I'm gonna play this real quick. I don't know. I'm sharing sound, so I don't know if everybody's getting an echo in YouTube hearing you guys. So let me play this real quick, and then I'll stop the share, and we can go back to talking real quick. Oh, great!
All good.
Wrong screen. Hold on a second.
What is this? Something you put together?
Yeah, damn it. Let me. There it is.
Remember to comment, like, and sub. Wait, Daddy doesn't want you begging. Can I go cut the camera?
Little outro I made the other day.
What did it say?
Did you hear
What
it?
did
You
they
guys
say?
able to hear that?
No, not really. They were kind of talking too fast.
Hold on a second. Let me put up the volume somewhat.
Did they say MK Ultra?
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, hold on.
Remember to comment, like, and sub. Wait, Daddy doesn't want you begging. Can I go cut the camera?
Were you guys able to get that?
Not really. What did she say at first?
Oh, God. It says, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And then I had my other daughter cut her off in the middle of subscribing. And she says, wait, remember, Daddy doesn't like begging. Now I got to go cut the camera.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh.
Play it again, man. Play it again. Play it again.
All right, hold on. I don't know if turning up my volume, did that make any difference for you guys?
Right.
Oh,
Remember to comment, like, and sub. Wait, Daddy doesn't want you begging. Can I go cut the camera?
Awesome. Yeah, now we can understand because she cuts her off when she's about to make it understandable, and now I understand.
Sound like somebody was mowing the grass.
I got to redo that then. It's kind of
You
hard.
got some cute kids there, bro.
Yeah, just cut the background noise out. Yeah.
All right.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Somebody mowing the grass.
Tell them they did a good job, brother. We liked it.
I just thought that would be cute to share at the end.
Yeah, it was adorable.
It comes out better on my end. So.
I knew.
Yeah, and I don't really like to beg either, but that's cute.
I just have a problem. I have a pet peeve with everybody in there that always in their videos. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. So I wanted to kind of do something.
I like the comment part, but not the like and subscribe because you're pretty much telling them what to do. Yeah.
Or here, buy my T-shirt.
Like, share, subscribe, all that.
I like the comments though.
Anyway.
That's why I like Ken Wheeler's outro. He always says, you can tell me what you think in the comments. You can donate or you can tell me to jump off a cliff. It's up to you. Whatever makes you happy.
Or go check yourself or dry up and blow
Steve,
away.
you could do slightly slanted protein bars.
Actually, I had lammy pie, which I miss immensely. And if she ever hears this video, I miss you, Lammy. She actually made me some and sent me them, and they were pretty damn good, actually.
We can call them ascension bars.
Ascension bars. I love it.
What did she call them? What did she call them? She called them slanted. I can't remember, but it was pretty cute. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But hey, you guys have all brought a lot to the table tonight. And Christy, Cosmic Christy, if you hear this, I apologize if you thought I was coming off and attacking your information, but I appreciate it. And now in hindsight, I appreciate it even more. So
I'm sure she is still listening. She might be asleep by now, but she probably fell asleep listening. I did send her your birthday information, Steve and Eric. So she will get it up. She will get it together. She will let me know, and I will let you guys know that we need to put together a video.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate every one of you. I love you all.
Understand her this time, though. I promise.
Have a safe drive home.
Don't no yelling.
Yeah, move to Colorado, Steve, so we can do pot brownies. We can call them slightly slanted brownies.
There you go.
Swing by and see me, right? Slightly on your way back.
Yeah, I was gonna see. I was gonna run it past the boss, and then
Do you? Do you guys like chocolate peanut butter fudge? Because I make homemade chocolate peanut butter fudge, and it's amazing. And I'll make you some, and no one else has ever had it. So lucky you.
I'm not going to commit to anything because I don't want you making anything that I'm not going to be there to get. But I'm gonna. Yeah, I think I'm driving up through the same area when I stayed at Lafayette. So.
Okay. Cool.
But I did enter the no tolls route because it was like $35 in toll fees.
Jeez.
I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, holy shit, I was stopping every 10 miles, it seemed, giving $4. It was crazy.
Is that taking 90-94?
Yeah, 90-94, and then going through West Virginia, they soak you $4 each time.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But it was a pretty scenic route. Going through the mountains is beautiful this time of year.
Do it on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I would love to, but there goes my emotional driving again.
He doesn't need to be road raging on a motorcycle.
Well, I used to life rage on a motorcycle. I'd get pissed off at everybody and get on it and drive like a madman.
Well, then it's a miracle you're still alive yet again.
Oh, it's a miracle anyway. Believe me.
Yes. Yes.
Still looking for the freeway.
I see no problem in that.
Freeway, right?
Right, but
got a throttle, use it.
Well, that's my point. Believe me, man, I'm going 90 miles an hour whenever I think I can get away with it in this car.
That's why I've been self-restricting myself to smaller bikes. The biggest one I got so far was a 600. That was a MZR 600, so it's not like. But I really want to.
Yeah, but when you're winding something like that out down the freeway, you feel like a little peon, right? When it's going, man, you're doing 80 miles an hour and that's as fast as you can go.
Yeah, the smaller bikes, it does get annoying.
Yeah, it does.
Especially with the parallel twins and they vibrate so bad.
Right. Because I had a 600 once and I was like, man, this sucks. There's nothing like cruising at 100 miles an hour and it's just going,
right.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Yep,
we're almost at 3:33, but I don't think we can stretch it out for another 10 minutes.
You know what? We could talk another hour if we really want.
Yeah, I know we could. Yeah, but I think we'll keep it short just for aesthetic reasons for everybody else.
Yeah, that you need some sleep, bro.
Yeah. When people click onto a video and it says 4 hours and 53 minutes, they're like, what the fuck are these people doing?
Yeah.
But thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Max. Thanks, Christine. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Eric. And thank you, Paula.
Love you.
Good night, guys.
Oh.
Love you all.
Love, peace, chicken grease.
Later.
Later.
Bye.
Peace.